All right, co-host coming down. Hope you're ready to get started. Whoa, wait a minute. Who is this?
Sorry, co-host couldn't be here tonight, but the part of co-host will be played by Leon, star of Stage, Screen, and the Ghetto.
Actually, we had to send co-host to a cheap little repair shop in New Orleans.
That's the only place they would take him. They still had the parts.
Yeah, that's the only place. Those poor bastards in New Orleans, they already experienced Katrina.
You know, it's funny because New Orleans is the only place that's so corrupt, even Mexico goes, damn, that's fucked up.
Well, we sent him to Mexico first, and they sent him to New Orleans from there. They said, you hurricane-suffering motherfuckers take this. And even they said, hey, we already had one natural disaster. We don't need another.
Yeah, we don't need another El Nino.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's weird to be here on a night like tonight. But we're running ahead schedule on Leog, and this is one of those weeks where there's tons of movies coming out, but not tons of screenings.
None, really. None at all. They got 5 fucking movies coming out, I think, 4. And
one screening for
9,
and we saw that last week.
Yeah. And so what's coming out this week? They got Whiteout. They have Tyler Perry's
I
Crying
Can Do
Black
Bad
Women.
All By Myself.
Oh, that is, I was going to say crying gospel singing black women, which is what they all are at this point. What's the other one that's coming out?
White on Rice? Was that?
But see, I'm thinking about the movies because White on Rice. There's a movie coming out called White on Rice. Ain't nobody going to see that shit. Yeah. I think that was made at my mama's house in Waco. I think they shot that there. You can see my mom walking by in the background if you look close. Y'all want some pancakes? Shh, Miss Coleman, get the fuck out the way. No, there's irrefutable evidence or something like that.
Really?
Something like that. I'm gonna look it up. Now I'm curious. Let me look this up.
Sorority Row. What the?
That's the one.
Oh, that's
Sorority
the horror
Row
movie, right?
It's the remake of The House on Sorority Row. Okay. So we got that remake coming out, and then there was one other movie coming out, a Michael Douglas movie.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of being dumped. It's in limited release, so nobody really knows about it. Let me see.
I thought Wall Street 2 was going to be big.
No, I mean, they just dumped that shit. They
dumped it like some bad stock.
Beyond reasonable doubt.
Oh, wait, Michael Douglas?
Let me make sure, because I might be talking.
Because I got to say, man, you know, like, I love Michael Douglas back in the 80s and early 90s, but every movie he made had a title like that.
It's Michael Douglas and a bunch of motherfuckers you don't know. I'll read some of these names to you.
All right.
Starring Michael Douglas.
Okay.
Amber Tamblyn.
Sort of know that name.
Kind of familiar, but you can't put a face with it.
Yeah, no,
I can't.
I can't, no.
Jesse Metcalf.
Okay, no Jesse Metcalf.
You do? Metcalf?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. Cool.
Yeah. He's, I'm trying to think. He's famous for something, but I just saw, there's some movie with him and an Indian chick. I just saw the video for it on the shelf.
Famous for doing movies nobody wants to fucking see, apparently.
I think he was on like a WB TV show, but he's kind of famous. I know him.
Oh, that dude. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you know that dude.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, I thought it was that dude from Entourage. No, it's a dude from John Tucker Must Die, which who cares about that too. Let's see. And somebody named Joel David Moore.
No.
David Jensen.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I know David Jansen. The Fugitive.
Okay. No. See, that's what I'm saying. Nobody knows what the fuck this is.
Well, hey, what's the movie about?
Michael Douglas does some crazy shit. That's the actual description right there. No, it says here. I'll tell you what this is about because I haven't heard of this at all. Have you heard of this movie before?
No.
I heard about this movie tonight.
Yeah.
Cyrus called me up and he said, "Man, do you know there's 25 movies coming out this Friday?" You know, he exaggerates. Yeah, sure. There's 50 movies coming out. What are we gonna do?
Cyrus exaggerate? Pshaw, that never happens except every day.
Cyrus was hot under the couch like an avalanche was coming down or something. There's 50 movies coming out.
They're coming right at us.
Let's see. This movie says high-profile lawyer Martin Hunter. Ooh, that's a power name if ever there was one. Has an impeccable record putting criminals behind bars and is a shoo-in for governor in the upcoming election. But when ambitious rookie journalist CJ
boring.
See, well, all right. This sounds like some shit that you see on Boston Legal or something, you know.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, okay, so whatever, man. Fuck that movie. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna have a late night on Thursday because there's a lot of fucking movies to see. So, what we're gonna try and cover is Sorority Row.
Okay.
Whiteout.
All right.
And what was the other one? Oh, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's Tyler Perry.
Yeah. I can do bad all by myself.
I can do bad all by myself.
And you know what's funny is like I've been watching all those Tyler Perry movies lately for some reason. Like I've just been catching them a lot.
Oh, by the way, welcome to Let's Do This, y'all.
Oh yeah, I guess we should say that. You know, that's what I say. It's weird not having the co-host and the saga continues and get ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Is Goatsy ready?
Well, no, you know that's the thing, man. I always every week we always get started in the middle of it. I always wait, hold on, welcome, Let's Do This, y'all, because we just jump right into it. But
yeah, you know, watching all these Tyler Perry movies lately, I'm like, wow, I can actually tell which ones are better than the other ones. And Diary of a Mad Black Woman, that is still by far the best one.
That is the best one.
They've been like on a continuous slide. Like they just keep getting lazier and lazier. And that's a lot to say with a Tyler Perry movie.
And Tyler Perry keeps getting richer and richer.
True.
All these movies.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, wow, you mean I only have to do half as much as I did before, and I can still make just as much money, if not more? I mean, why study for A+ when you can get an A- without studying?
Well, I mean, I saw one movie where I swear he didn't even try out the writing because he knew he's like, these bitches gonna come watch my shit no matter what.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good because of that. It was good in a bad way.
Wait, was it Why Did I Get Married?
No, it wasn't that one. Which one was it? It was the one called the family.
Oh, the family that prays together.
No, the family that prays together. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
Man, that movie was the most melodramatic soap opera. Even like the people from One Night to Live are looking. I'm sorry,
One Night to Live.
One Night to Live.
Yeah, that would be dramatic. One Night to Live.
That's Tyler Perry's Thriller right there.
I know. I was gonna say that's like a film noir movie. That's the one starring Edmund O'Brien. But One Night to Live.
That's when Medea just finally lost it and started killing people. I'm gonna catch you. Come here. See Jason running from my ass. Come here. I'm gonna catch your ass.
Now there's a movie for you. Jason versus Medea. I mean, Freddy Krueger's a pussy, but Medea, that's a fight right there.
Freddy versus Medea. One Night to Live. No, hell no. You don't fuck with the wrong black woman now. But they, how you there? But they, this movie had this, what was the name? Sanaa Lathan?
Yeah, Sanaa Lathan.
Sanaa Lathan. Yeah, she was this woman who was just into her job, man. That's all that mattered. She was
what a bitch.
She was get this. She was so into climbing the ladder that she was fucking over her own husband, man. Like her husband would come in. You don't even know why they were married. Now, granted, I walked into the movie just a tad bit late, but her husband is this dude.
30 minutes into it.
Yeah, 30 minutes. I walked in the last 30 minutes. I didn't get it, man.
Yeah, this movie's dumb.
That don't explain nothing. But no, she's trying to climb the corporate ladder pretty much by sleeping with her boss. And her boss is that dude that's always playing a racist, man. He plays a racist so much that you think he's a racist.
Is it Cole Hauser? I was going to say Cole Hauser. How funny you said it, because that was my guess. I was going to say Cole Hauser?
Cole Hauser plays so many racist motherfuckers, man. You think that he is actually racist. He has played a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
He has played a guy who hated Jews and blacks in a concentration camp. That Bruce Willis movie?
Right. Well, see, now, I don't know if Wings Hauser is his father or his older brother, but he used to do the same roles.
No, I think his father is nigger-loving, Jew-hating Hauser. Which is probably the same guy. But no, so in this movie, he's her boss.
Yeah.
He's sleeping with her, and she's and her husband don't know about it. Her husband just dumb in the movie. Hey, baby, where you been tonight? I've been working. Oh, really? I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Oh, okay. I made dinner right here. Fuck off. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you're right. But
well, he deserved that shit.
Yeah, he kind of did, because Tyler Perry played a role in that movie where he played his best friend. And instead of being Medea, he had on like a fake afro and a fake goatee. Some shit he got from the costume shop, like right before they started. Fuck, man, I need something to make me look different.
I'm gonna play this role as Jim Brown.
But he looked in that movie. Even he was like, when he started figuring out what's going on, like the husband, Tyler Perry's like, oh damn, man, you can't figure this out. We've been dropping hints for years, man. But she, it's so melodramatic because she is just shitty to her husband. She's telling him all night, you're not going to be anything. You're just a construction worker. Now, my boss, who she's sleeping with, that's a guy who has aspirations. That's a guy who really goes for things in life. And when he talks to people, he does it without stuttering. And all the black women, of course, in the audience, like, bitch, fucking that white man, and all kind of things. Right. They into it, man. And of course, the husband's so dumb. They all the women are like, that's all right, baby. They talking to him like he's there. That's all right, baby. You gonna be all right. It's like you can see black women actually trying to hug the screen. Come here, baby. You're going to be okay.
So is he all right? Does he hook up with another fine black woman before the movie's over?
See, that's what it was, man. He made Sanaa Lathan in that movie such a bitch. And you just kind of get caught into it. You just get, like, in that world, you get caught into it. It's like, okay, all these people are the phoniest fucking types that you could ever meet.
That's what's funny about those movies is like they become such stereotypes. Like they're cartoon characters by the end of it.
They are. This is stuff that like kids wrote because they didn't know depth when writing characters. Oh, this person's the bad person.
Right.
Oh, this person's the sad person. You know, this person's the hero. You know, so and I mean, he knows what he's doing. It works shorthand for that audience. I mean, unfortunately, but so I was caught up in it, man. And by the time that now, I don't even know if I should. It's a Tyler Perry movie. Should I actually say spoiler alert? I mean, can't you see somebody getting mad? Spoiler!
Yeah, I just rented that. Thank you.
Be like that dude I had to ban. I said something. He was just fucking with me. This guy, I forgot what his name was. He was messing with everybody. I had to take him off. But the thing that tipped it off that he was actually like kind of messing with people. I mentioned the littlest thing about a movie, and he came on there and he just went nuts. He's like, spoiler, Corey. How come you can't say spoiler alert, huh? You just couldn't shut your fucking mouth, could you? You just spoiled another fucking movie. Fuck you.
And
I was like, that's when I was kind of like, okay. Little chat with this dude. But no, so
let me spoil something else for you. You're banned.
Yeah, you're going to have a spoiler when you come and try to get back on that account. I should put your character up there, the spoiler with him. Let me tell you how this is going to end. You banned.
Well, you have to have me dressed up like the Sandman with a broom, sweeping him off the site.
Man, what? Okay, where did my beer go? I'm nervous because I'm knowing
it's right there.
Oh, see, I knew I better look for it. It's an empty bottle too.
Oh man,
just about.
I'm sorry. You know what? I should have brought more of these. I thought you might have something over here already.
I got some. Well, I hate to be stereotypical, but I got some Cavassier.
Well, that's true.
I got that Maker's Mark that Nick told me not to open, but
I wanted to get into that, but I know you save that for Nick.
I know Nick. I told Nick I'd probably save it to the next spill party. So,
but goddamn, it's a huge ass bottle. That's a lot to ask somebody to save for. Who knows how many months?
Nick's gonna ask me. He said, "What?" He says, "What's your favorite whiskey?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I like a good bourbon or whiskey like a Maker's Mark." And he went and got it. I was like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, "But you can't open it." I was like, "You mother."
He bought the biggest bottle they got.
I almost took it and cracked it across his head. Open it that way. But no, so this movie, before I forget, so at the end of this movie, man, of course, she gets busted. And, this movie, everybody has to have their comeuppance.
Of course.
So when she gets busted sleeping with this guy and the guy loses he's trying to do like a corporate takeover of the family business and he loses, so he didn't get it. He dumps her. The guy finds out that his kid, the husband, the real husband, he finds out that his kid is not actually his kid. Oh. It's the boss.
The boss's kid?
Yeah, and meanwhile, it's the blackest looking kid. The kid has no white in him at all. Conveniently so you couldn't tell. That
right.
Yeah. So the husband could not know because, if that kid had came out looking like Michael Jackson today or some shit. Or,
not today.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. But
let's pick somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck, man. I don't know. Donny Osmond. I don't know, but he finds out all this shit, and the wife has to come clean and like, this is not your son. I just lost my job, baby. Let's go ahead and try to raise this baby together, and let's try to be a family. He's like, nah, bitch, You at this point, you so into it. You're like, yeah. Now see, you find you being a man. Fuck that bitch. You should have did that shit a long time ago. And at the end, she was kind of living large before bringing home all the money. They had a nice house. This dude, him and Tyler Perry, the whole time they were trying to get a construction business together.
Yeah.
And the whole time she been telling him, like, you ain't gonna be nothing. This is a dream. This ain't gonna ever happen because you ain't no businessman like my boss. And of course, his construction business doing well.
Oh yeah.
The tables have turned.
Yes.
She's living in a small ghetto ass apartment with that little bastard child.
So all those skills she had to get that job, she couldn't apply those to get another job?
Well, all the skills she had was fucking. Maybe sucking a dick every now and then.
Hey, even better.
But yeah. I mean, maybe that's why she was in that cracked out apartment she was in. She's doing it under a bridge now.
I mean, shit, she could put that shit on her resume. They're like, I only type 10 words a minute, but I can suck a dick that'll get me a vice presidentship.
Yeah.
If you look it over resumes, you got to figure like, That's going to factor pretty high.
It is sad, but if you put that on a resume, your boss will look past. Your future boss will look past all your skills.
Right.
On there. You could have on there rocket scientist, astronaut.
Yeah.
Sidekick to Indiana Jones.
Right.
All kind of shit. I found the Ark of the Covenant. He's looking past all this sucking dick. Aha.
Yeah.
Hired.
It'll at least get you called in for an interview. I mean, he might be like, "Oh, I bet her ass is as big as a truck." Why you having her in? Well, just because I'm curious. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
And then Sanaa Lathan walks in and be like, "Okay, you're hired." I think I've seen enough here. We'll start you at 70,000 and see where things go from there.
Comes in, his pants already down. So I see your set skills are. But no, she's living in his apartment. And dude comes in, he's trying to be all nice and everything, like trying to take care of his kids. So he comes in, hugs the kid, gives him the money, you know.
Yeah.
And the wife comes up, the ex-wife tries to come up and give him a hug, and he's like, "Nope. I haven't forgotten, and I'm successful now."
Oh,
now how stupid does that sound?
Yeah,
it works.
That's ridiculous.
Now that should be Tyler Perry's next movie. It's Sanaa Lathan sucking dick. The sequel to that. How she rose to the top again.
Now that would be awesome to take some of those characters who had their comeuppance and then you watch them come and rise up again after learning something. You know what's funny about these movies? Like a lot of people who watch movies and TV shows, they have the idea like, hey man, karma is out there. If you do bad, things will come around and get you. Anything done in the darkness will come to light. But let's be honest. How many things have you done kind of shady, nobody knew about, and actually never came back up again?
Every goddamn day.
I mean, yeah, you know, there's stuff you get busted on, but there's some things that you just never get busted on.
Man, no, I probably shouldn't. Well, nobody's gonna find out. I mean, it'd be just my luck today with the internet. Somebody does, but
right.
No, I've done a hit and run before. Like when I was first in Austin, it was my first time learning how to drive a stick shift. And I got out the
It's funny because this leads into a story I was going to talk about tonight.
You know what? Let's do this proper. Let's save these stories.
Okay.
For when we get into the show. Because
right.
people, we do have an agenda here. We're going to talk about some of our stories, apparently, where we have done some shady shit and got away with it.
I don't think that's well. Okay.
Okay. No, I ain't getting to the dirtiest of the dirty. I'm just skimming the top. You know, the stuff that like if you did get called for it, you'd be like, oh, okay. You know, you got me. No, you ain't find out where I got those bodies. Didn't you? So we'll get into that. We are going to talk about some members on the site. Now I know people say don't feed the trolls, but fuck it, man. We have fun with this.
Plus, you know, I mean, hey, you got control the ban button, so if they get out of hand, out of here.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's we're open with you people. You know, we want to let you know we're looking out for you, so we don't try to hide anything. There's some trolls around. We're gonna get more as we get bigger. So fuck it, we'll talk about their asses. And then I got some stories. Now I tell you, you brought it up. You said let's tell some birthday stories. I mean,
okay, yeah.
I mean, because birthday's coming up tomorrow, 9909. That's the only reason why I'm really kind of talking about it, because, well, we'll get into why I'm talking about it in a little while. And we'll do some email. And look, you know this is free form.
Yeah,
I know. We've been doing this for years. Even before the co-host came along, we've been doing this for years.
True.
I've been thinking about starting another podcast where it's you and I, because I got some history, man.
I mean, shit, we got like about 16, almost 17 years of history.
Yeah. I've been really thinking about, like, you know what? I said the podcast that would actually make sense is me and Leon. 'Cause we got some shit to tell, man. We got a whole lot of shit. Like, if I was to tell about myself, it'd just be whatever. But to have us both there,
you know what? I was talking to one of my oldest friends today, and he lives in Dallas, and he loves listening to Let's Do This. But he's like, man, if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have a show, because they talk about your ass every week.
No, it's gonna be a moment during this podcast and be like, and Leon Sport. Oh, you sitting right there. Okay, fuck, can't talk about you right now. No, it'd be funny if I just start talking about you like
like I'm not here.
Like, man, and Leon, man, he's in the spoiler movies. He was gonna spoil that movie the other night. What you think about that? Corey, I'm right here, man. Oh fuck, man, it's a habit. I can't get out of it. But yeah, people, we've already had a full show already. We've gone like this. See, this is our co-host and I do. We start out with these long intros, man.
Well, that's what's so funny. Like, you and I did all this talking before we even turned the mics on. I'm like, you know what? If we had been recording, the show would be half over with already.
Yeah, I could go home. We'd be done. Yeah. But we're going to get you out of here at a reasonable time.
No, we're not. Come on.
I ain't going to even lie.
No, don't even lie to me. Come on.
No, I'm gonna
piss down my back. Tell me it's raining. What's that?
Why does the rain smell salty and look like lemonade? So, people, we told you what we're going to do now. Co-host will be back probably sometime this week, and we'll do a show. Where
did he go?
I told you we sent him to New Orleans.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, via Mexico.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, co-host will be back. We might do an extra show this week.
Oh, wait a minute. He should come back with some big ass stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. That's why I said
shit. His ass gonna get lost in a card game on a riverboat.
He's gonna be a fucking ornament down on Bourbon Street.
Corey, get me out of here.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll fucking get up there in the first place.
I attach myself on some beads that would throw at a girl to take her top off.
Yeah, it end up being around some big black man's being used as his medallion.
One of his Benoit balls. No.
But boy, yeah, we're gonna have a show. Just because the co-host in here, he will be back. We're probably gonna have an extra show with him. But right now, just sit back and enjoy the musings of Leon and I, because man, we got some stuff to tell you.
It's story time, kiddies.
Yes, it is. So now that you know what tonight is all about and how we're gonna do this in the absence of the machine, we got the two black men here, so we're gonna do this.
You ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this. Y'all know what's happening. You got two black men ready to tell some stories. How can you not be ready? So if y'all are ready, which you can never be ready for that, but get ready anyway, because I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Well, shit, that's all we need, Negro. That's all you have to say. Then let's do this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Ghost is looking at you like,
God damn it.
Ghost is looking at you like, I don't know you, man. I don't know you. He's about to play. I guess he didn't see behind that wall over there. Hey, Ghost.
Let me talk to him.
Oh, what'd you say to him?
Hey, man.
Oh, shit. He got his good.
I speak goat.
What the hell? Look at him. He's ready now. Shit, he put on the shades and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, damn. Since you speaking goat and you got goats ready. All right, now we are ready. So you ready? I'm ready. Ghost is ready. Let's do this. Shit, boy. Ghost is getting down like he never has got down before.
I'm telling you.
I don't know what you said to him, but that was some good shit you told him.
I wish I thought to bring my pants loose. I sit down with it.
You see you run around looking like Jethro Tull on one leg. With a goat following behind you with a guitar. Playing with the goat. Man, people said, one person came in, I guess they knew the site, they said, is it just me, or is it every time they start a review, they're fucked up?
Well, that depends on your definition of fucked up.
That's what I said.
Now, there are those times when we've had a bit of the grape.
Yeah.
And then other times we're just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You mean sometimes people are just fucking late.
Sometimes we're just exhausted.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a combination of all three things.
Yeah. If you ever listened to a podcast and cut it off and you said, that made no fucking sense whatsoever, you probably caught us on a triple night where we were like tired, drunk, and crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happens.
Yeah, that's happened plenty.
And to me, that's some of my best ones. So
I mean, I know some of the the best Leogs. I start out, I'm already tired, but I don't know it yet, and I'm getting drunk. And then somewhere we take that break in the middle, and that shit all hits me, and I'm just on the ropes for the rest of it. I'm like, Cyrus, for Christ's sakes, can we wrap this up?
Yeah, please. And you can, I can tell, because you'll start singing. Like when you start getting into it, yeah, you start singing tunes and start just kind of going off the old world, like getting into like.
I always think I sing early on.
Well, you really get into it, like
maybe so.
Like when my dad used to come in, and because my dad would get off of work and he'd be tired, he just wouldn't say anything to anybody. He'd sit down and just say food, But you could tell those nights he came in, had a little bit of the medicine, a little bit of the sauce, because he come in to like doo 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 doo. Yeah, he's all right. He's happy. But man, so I don't know if you want to tell anything, but we were on this story. We're about to kick off these stories about how we've done things and got away with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, life is random. I mean,
it is.
Because I've had shit done to me. It all comes back one way or another. I mean, because if you live life long enough, I ain't gonna even say karma. I'm just gonna say that's the balance of life.
It is. Chances go around. It is. It's all about randomness. I mean, so many things happen randomly that people try to attach a meaning to and say, oh, this happened because of this, and make connections. There's a lot of shit that just has no connection whatsoever. I mean, there are definitely some things that have connections. I mean, like the way karma mostly works is, if you do shitty things happen to you just because you're that kind of person who garners ill will from people. So you stack the deck, you make it work against you.
Yeah.
But other than that, you could be the nicest person in the world and still get pancreatic cancer. You do nothing to deserve it. It ain't about deserving it. It's just, unfortunately, your number got hit. A hit and run drive, somebody running into you. You got no control over that. This shit just happens.
If you've gone through life without having a bird shit on you, then you lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit is random. You know
yeah.
What
I mean, anytime you sitting around going, why me? Why me? It's like, well, shit, why not you?
Yeah, so I mean, true. Like, why babies? They ain't done anything to anybody.
Yeah,
but you got people born with birth defects and all kind of illnesses and shit. I mean, yeah, that's just life, man. Yeah. So yeah, you are gonna catch a bad one every now and then, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother used to always say, God don't like ugly, but ugly or not.
You should have told her, God don't like you then. Boy, get your ass.
Hey, man, what you trying to say about my grandmother?
I ain't never seen your grandmother before, man. I ain't saying.
Talk about my grandmother. She was a saint.
Oh, please. Your grandmother wasn't no saint.
She was the nicest woman in the world.
I saw your grandmother on the internet the other day. She wasn't no saint. Oh, no, come on, man. Now, the other day, you talk about my grandmother. It's even in the podcast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We're doing, what were we doing? We were talking about, what movie that
man, why you got to bring up old shit?
At the end of it, I'm like, man, my grandma's dead, man. Y'all were laughing. Everybody just, that's what it was 9. We used to talking about 9, and we talking about how Stitch Punk. You hear it in the audio review. You won't see it in the video, but we talking about Stitch Punk, and I was like, yeah, man. I think about an old woman with a mohawk sitting on a rocking chair stitching to punk rock music. And you're like, yeah, that's your grandma, man. I'm like, oh my grandmother dead, you motherfucking. Everybody like, ah. But
well, we were drunk.
Oh, y'all were crazy that night too. No, man. So yeah, life is random, and we've all done. Look, I would doubt that there's anybody out there without secrets.
Yeah, there's. I mean, okay, we have a lot of kids on here, so maybe they haven't lived long enough to have secrets.
Yeah, they got them. Shit, they're more innocent, but you stole some shit out your mom's purse.
But they will have. The thing is, like, the older you get, the harder it really is, or at least it should be, to judge other people. Because like, hey, everybody's gonna fuck up.
Yeah,
everybody's gonna do something and need slack.
Yep,
you're gonna run into somebody and they're gonna be an asshole to you, but they're just having a bad day.
Exactly. That's why when we had that whole, I don't want to get into the politics right here, but it is an example. The contract with America, when all those Republicans came out and were talking about family values. Yeah. I have an article right here on this computer where they went name for name, almost over half those people who were involved in that contract.
Yeah,
scandals.
Oh, I know.
Money scandals, but more importantly, infidelity scandals.
Oh, that's the biggest thing. That was why Larry Flint was so awesome when they were trying to prosecute Clinton for his blowjob. He was like, all right, I'll offer $1 million and whoever can find dirt on these people. And a bunch of them had to back off. I mean, and that guy who did the Book of Virtues, he's a fucking gambling addict.
See? That's what I'm talking about. I love when Larry Flint did that, because you had that one person who was like, well, I haven't done anything, I'll take that shit. There was a Republican behind who did some shit. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I do shit. Nobody need to do. Just go with it, man. Just shut up. Ain't nobody got to go out with this shit like this. But so I remember being like when I first got to Austin, man, and I learned how to drive a stick shift. I was probably like about 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
And one night, and as you know, I wasn't even drinking back then, so I wasn't drunk or anything.
Yeah, you were straight arrow.
Yeah, I was straight and narrow, man. I got out the car and forgot to pull that parking brake up.
Yeah.
And I heard when I shut the door, I heard and that car started going down an incline in the parking lot, and it was going slow at first, so I got behind that shit trying to be Superman and shit.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You get run over.
No, I quickly realized that. I was like, fuck this. And I just got out the way and just looked at it. And I was like, because I did try to open the door when it went by. So I tried to jump out like, man, I'm about to fucking die trying to stop this. I just watched it hard as it went down and hit another person's car. and it didn't do crazy damage because my bumper like hit the side of the door, so it put a big dent in it. It wasn't like I just totally blew that car. It wasn't like in movies where we're like crash, kaboom,
right.
But it put a big dent and scrape in the door, and my bumper, it was my bumper, so it wasn't that big a deal. So, but I didn't know what to do, man. I was thinking, should I call the police? Should I go and find out whose car this is? But it was late at night, and I stood around this because it did go like, and I was like, wait, oh fuck, all these lights are gonna come on, everybody's gonna see me and shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of stood there just ready to just be embarrassed and ready to just give up all the information and just admit I was being dumb. And no lights came on. No one came out to see what's going on. And I got in my car, and I was so nervous because I was just dumb back there. I got in my car and drove to the opposite end of town.
Well, and the thing is, people are going to hear this story and get mad at you because everybody's kind of had that happen when their car got damaged. But the thing is, you know, it's like it's almost a minor damage. I mean, I don't know how bad it was.
It was a dent. It wasn't. It was
like that car was still drivable.
Yeah.
You know, that person had a cosmetic thing, you know, bad about their car, but it would have cost you a lot, way more money than it should have to get that fixed. I mean, or if you've gone through insurance companies, I mean, that's the problem with that. Cause I kind of like had a small, like scrape somebody's car in a parking lot where it just like left some paint or some rubber from my car on theirs. And it's like, man, I hate to leave them like this, but I know this would probably cost me, several $100s for something that they could easily live with.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. Now, what happened?
And in Texas, you got to be insured. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, this happened to me last week, almost about a week ago. I was coming from the store and making a left turn onto Ben White from South Lamar. And there's a car already on going across Ben White. And out of nowhere, this red car, without putting on his brakes at all, just slammed into this black truck, like smashed it up against a concrete barrier right in front of me. And I was like, holy shit. You watch that just come out of nowhere and just happen. And then that red car kind of pulled up, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the story is there, but I guess he's going to get out. And he just pulled off. And it looked like some kind of mafia hit, the way, just hit somebody like that and keep on going. And as I pulled by slowly, I could see it was like a young lady in a car. She was just smashed up against, because it totally smashed that whole side. And she was just.
So I'm up here laughing, man. Was she injured?
Well, it turned out she wasn't injured too bad, but to look at it, it looked like she was. And just
like that car wreck we had going to Brian Brushwood's place.
Yeah. But there was just something in my brain that just went, bullshit. And I just clicked on, and like I had to like drive around the cars that were in front of me taking too long, and I chased that car down. And,
oh, you did?
Yeah. And, waited for them to pull over, and I got out and wrote their license plate down. And it was like an old man with a handicap stick on the back of his car. And I called the police, told them about what happened, and then drove back to see if that girl was all right. And the EMS was there by that time. And they were like, they were like, yeah, it's amazing. Like, she just kind of bumped her head a little bit, but she seems like she's okay. And her dad came over like, look, listen, license of that car. Look, I was a witness. I watched this whole thing happen. And that car is like right, like 4 blocks down. I can take you to it. And they were like, well, we got it from here. I'm like, you sure? Because, man, Austin cops are kind of incompetent.
Well, I know what you mean. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But, and it was on my way home driving by. I saw, like, by the time I got down there, they did have the guy pulled over.
Oh, they did? So they caught the guy?
Yeah.
See, you've had such bad experiences with cops. I've been told to get out, do the drunk test, and been let go with a warning and all kind of stuff. I've just been lucky with the cops, because that happened to me one night where I was in a hit and run.
Yeah, I was too. And they caught the guy later. They were like, you won't believe this, but we caught him. I was like, wow, I don't believe it. And the cop was just like, yeah, man, we had him, and they confessed, and I wanted to take him in. But my sergeant wouldn't let me. But, yeah, I was like, what? I was like, what? Really? He's like, but they're in big trouble, because that's a Class C misdemeanor. And I was like, that's it? They hit my car, drove off, and that's it? And it turns out they were going back to, Florence. He was like, yeah, I think they're soldiers. So I think it was like during, like, especially the height of the Iraq war, they were just like giving everybody a free pass. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, that's probably what it was, because my hit and run, man, I'll tell you what happened. I was coming, and it was funny because I was coming from the big Sin City premiere that they had here. And I was driving, and I entered this intersection. Now, it was probably not very smart on my part, because I was in the right.
Yeah.
I had a green light, and there was a car coming, and that car was going so fast that I should have known they wouldn't stop. And I went ahead, just took a chance, crossed the road, and sure enough, I was like, I just shut my eyes. I was like, I'm fucking dead.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, hello, Jesus, tell me about everything I fucked up on in life, because I know I said a lot of bad things. I might as well be ready. It's like I wasn't ready to talk to police, and I was ready to talk to Jesus. So, but I closed my eyes. I heard a crash. I heard, and when I opened my eyes, I was facing the opposite way. Cause it went so fast. I was like, where the fuck am I?
You know, man, when we got hit on our way to Brian Brushwood's, where that truck took the whole front end of your car off, I thought you seemed rather unfazed by it.
I'm like a soldier who's been to war.
Hey, you've been there before.
It's like, it's nothing, man. I've done this.
Shit.
I've been in so many accidents like that, with my sister. I tell you about that, but no, that car hit me, and that's the thing. I was turned around the opposite way, and I was looking, I'm like, where the hell am I? Because I wasn't hurt. I was like, because I was touching myself, like, oh, fucking Jesus, okay, I'm alive. I'm alive. And I was like, and then I looked at that car, and when I saw them, it was almost like that car was looking at me. Because I looked at that car, and I was like, no, you motherfucker, don't you do it. And sure enough, that car just stood there for a moment and said, Sky! And drove off.
Aww.
I was like, son of a bitch, man. I was like, all right, well, I guess I just had to bite the bullet on this, because they're not going to catch that guy. And no one was around that night. Yeah. I mean, that night it was empty. But when I got hit, people came out like zombies. They just came out the darkness like, witnesses.
Yeah.
All these people showed up and said, yeah, we saw that car. One person had the license plate number.
Good.
And I don't know where these people came from. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But cops came up, and they start questioning me and everything. And once they knew I was good, they said, so we got information on the guy, but there's probably not a whole lot we can do, because we don't even know if this license plate number is right.
See?
So 2 minutes after that, there was a woman cop, and she's like, what? You got him? And they came on and like, well, they say they got him. We don't know if it's the same guy, but they got somebody who was in a recent accident who was near here. And I sat down for a while. This cop who apparently had got the guy came back over to the scene where we were.
Yeah.
And he told me everything. He's like, because I said, how did you catch this guy? The guy was in a 7-Eleven buying something. I don't know, but he said he
scratch off ticket. He like, man, I survived that. I'm so lucky. I gotta play the lottery.
Oh yeah, that guy's in there. No, the guy was driving. He got the car. The cop was in 7-Eleven. He was walking out and saw a car that was damaged.
Oh, okay.
And so he went ahead, put on the lights, and pulled the guy over. Comes out the car to the guy. And he's like, excuse me, sir, have you been in an accident tonight? And the guy,
yes, no.
But it was almost like that. He said, the guy looked at him and said, I might have, and I can't recall. Christ. And that's when the cop said, just get your ass out the car. Come on. You're going to jail tonight. The guy had, because I said, well, what's happening? The guy, he said, well, he'll spend the night in jail. We'll let him go tomorrow, and he'll probably have to pay a fine. And from there on, it's going to be between him and his insurance company. And a situation like this that has jail time involved, it ain't going to be good. And I was like, all right, well, I said, am I ever going to have to meet this guy? He's like, no. He's like, you probably be contacted by a lawyer. All that would be done through them, and you'll get a settlement. And I did. I got a nice little chunk of change.
Is that when you got your new car out of?
Yeah.
Out of that money?
Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
The one that got wrecked on the way to Brian Brushwood's?
Yep. I had that for a good 2 years before.
But okay, ignore that whole thing I said about karma at the beginning.
No, and here's the kicker right here. Now I'm not gloating over this or anything, but we were lost in the middle of nowhere and we got into a wreck. It was my fault. Now I'm not going to make that excuse. I just pulled out to the middle of the road, didn't see a car.
Well, you know what? You were on the phone. You were looking in one direction and not looking in the other.
I was on the phone with Brian's parents trying to find out where we were going. But
right.
You know what? I'm not going to make any excuses for myself, because I was in an accident where I should have been more attentive and almost got Leon killed. So they're going to hit your side.
It did. It's one thing where I'm sitting there watching that truck coming at 60 miles an hour, and I'm going, Corey. Bam! Yeah. And I just watched the whole front of that car get taken off. And it's just like, holy shit, what just happened? And yeah, your airbags didn't deploy at all. And it was one thing to have it happen because it's so surreal, but it was another thing to step out of the car and look back at that twisted piece of a car.
They totaled it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, had they been closer, either both of us would have been dead or you would have been dead for sure.
I would have been dead for sure. Yeah. No, another 6 inches, it'd have been over for me.
We were fucking lucky, man.
And, but just like the idea, like, what strikes me funny that I kind of laugh at was like the looks on the faces of the people who were around when we stepped out of the car. Because they just look like, how the fuck are these two guys alive?
I know. We were like Houdini coming out that shit. You know? We might as well get out that shit and say, ta-da! And now for my next act.
I know. Even Brian Brush with the magician would have been like, damn, how'd you guys do it?
Yeah, because Brian came out there. He did say, like, how the fuck did y'all survive this?
And it was one of those, I kept looking at the car to make sure my ghost wasn't, I see my corpse there. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good.
Yeah, we're standing next to Brian and like, what the fuck? Brian's like, what the fuck happened? Well, Brian, we didn't see the car coming in. Brian, dun, dun, dun. Wait a minute, Leon, is that us? Damn, man, I sure was looking forward to Brian's party. You think I can still go swimming like this? But no. So that woman, now she got out the car because we were like, now. Any situation like this, you see this on TV and people are coming out and they're like putting flashlights in your face and people going to jail and all kind of stuff. People be yelled at like, how could you do this? No, the cops came out and they were real cool out there because we were like, oh man, we're in a small town. The cops coming out here, 2 black guys out here done cause havoc with
my worst nightmare.
But those cops came out because we were surrounded by cops.
Yes.
They came out and surrounded us and we were just, we were expecting the guns to be drawn at that point. But the sheriff looked at us and he's like, you 2 guys, you had anything to drink? Nope. Are you on any kind of medication? Nope. You guys sober? Yep. All right, everybody go home.
Yeah, it was one. I mean, that guy was like a comedian. He was funny, which really eased the situation. But he was like, "You guys haven't been drinking?" We were like, "No, sir." He's like, "Ah." He threw on to one guy. He's like, "Well, you can leave." He's like, "Man, that's too bad because this guy loves to take drunks in."
That's what they came out to see if it was a drunk driving accident. Yeah. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And since it wasn't a drunk driving accident, they were like, "Well, this is routine. You guys survived it. We get wrecks like this all the time." And they were actually kind of cool with us because even though I was the one at fault, we were just being cool. It was just kind of like, look, man, it's my fault. Sorry about all this. And that woman, I'll be glad to exchange any information and do whatever she needs me to do. And that woman, she was over there crying, called her husband. She was like, I just wanted to go to the grocery store. You remember? Because that's all I was doing. Because she looked at me and she was like, that's all. I just wanted to go to the store. I was like, well, shit, I guess you ain't going now. Well, you can go to the auto parts store. You're still going somewhere. And you didn't go to the grocery store. But because she was on the phone talking to her husband, and since we being so cool, the guys were over there looking at her just kind of like, yeah, it should be all right. You know?
Right.
Now, to show you how there's really no real karma in the world, I was the one at fault. Yeah. I was the one that ruined that woman's day.
Yeah.
I was the one that kept her from going to the grocery store.
Right.
And I don't know what happened with her, but out of this, I got a better, faster car.
True.
My insurance went down.
What?
Yes. I don't know why, because I think my car was older.
Yeah.
My insurance went down.
Damn.
And I still got money, like from the wreck. When I looked at this, I was like dreading hearing.
Yeah, because I remember that was the thing you were going like, I'm fucked. I'm like, dude, we're alive. You're not fucked.
Yeah, it was just kind of embarrassing because when we got back to Brian's place, everybody was standing there. It was almost like a surprise party, but instead of everybody saying surprise, they were like, you in a wreck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But
we were all laughing about it. Then I had a moment to myself where I was just almost broke down. I was like, oh shit, that was almost it.
Yeah, no, people just because everybody was almost like you were at a funeral. Everybody's like. I was almost expecting just shy of everybody to be like, Corey, how did you fuck up so bad?
Oh, man, nobody was mad.
I know nobody was mad, but you're embarrassed. You know, you get there because everybody's looking after you. They're like, well, because everybody keeps saying the same thing. Well, at least you're alive.
Right.
Like, yeah, at least I'm alive with some high fucking insurance premiums now. Yeah, easy for you to say, bitch. But they, man, everybody was cool. And really, by the time the party was over with, we all had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
It was great, and I had to ride back with Brian's magician assistant. Who was cool, actually. He was real cool. He was a nice guy. Had a hot ass wife, so that made it kind of easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Brian can't have a magician's assistant. Like every other magician has an assistant who's like some hot chick wearing fishnet stockings, but he's just got some teenage dude.
Yeah, he had this dude with what's with magicians and fucking spiky hair, man? Because this dude had like crazy hair too. Remember, he had like a pointed ass mohawk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. I bet Brian makes his magicians, his assistants wear stuff like that. He's like, look, if I'm gonna have spiky hair, you gonna have spiky hair.
Yeah, our friend Brian Brush was a magician, and you probably heard us say this before. I mean, you're gonna hear about the guy one day. Anyway.
Scam school's starting to get big.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna hear about him one day. He's gonna be big. And we met him like when he was like nothing. Remember that, Brian? When you was nothing. Yeah, I met you when you were doing fucking.
He was on the street doing 3-card money.
You were doing the shell game on the corner. But yeah, so we went and hung out at his place. His family was cool. Man, can you believe that time? I know we're going on a see this free form, right? Free form bullshitting.
Yeah,
man. We'll move on to our agenda. But we came out now. Speaking of the shell game, if you don't know what the shell game is, it's where people come out with a cup or a ball. They have 3 cups in a ball. They used to be done with coconut shells. That's why they call them the shell game.
Right.
And they put the ball under the shell, or these days under a cup, and they shuffle these 3 shells or cups around. You're supposed to guess which cup or shell the ball is under.
Right. Or it's a card. And this guy you're talking about, he did it with cards.
Yeah. This brother, we were coming out of a movie theater.
Yeah, and this wasn't like, back in the day. This was what, a month ago?
Yeah, it's about a month ago. This ain't on no New York corner.
Yeah, ain't no New York corner.
It's a strip mall theater. Yeah. And we're coming out next to a fucking super salad.
Hey, brother, come here. Let me talk to you for a second.
Yeah, and Leon and I looking at this guy like, you gotta be fucking kidding. We said, are you serious, man?
Yeah, it did sort of kind of, that's a joke. I mean,
like, really? This old shit that they do this shit in cartoons today and tell you that. I learned this shit when I was like 9 that this was fake.
I mean, it's the kind of thing where like if a kid saw it in a cartoon, they would have no frame of reference to know what it was talking about. It's so old. Yeah, and him doing that, like, see how quickly you got that. Come on, you want to play again? Let's make for money this time.
Because that's what it was. He let me have the first one free because I was just like, all right, man, I'll play. It's that one. He's like, all right, see, man, you got it. I mean, really, did we look that? This brother, I'm not gonna say we looked that stupid. This brother must have been fucked up because he came up trying to tell us like, well, okay, which one is the ball under? And I guessed it. He's like, all right, now $50 for this next one. How about that? We do it for money now. He actually said $50.
Yeah.
I was like. No, man.
No.
And he's like, see, man, you guessed that first. You could have had $50 right there. I was like, I could also be walking away from you right now. I mean, this is stupid. I could be in my car right now going home.
Yeah.
That's the real winner right there. Instead of listening to your dumb ass playing that fucking shell game with me.
Yeah. It's a basic tenet of life that like anything you win early on, whether it's set up or not, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Because it gives you the idea like, oh, this is easy. This will work every time. This scam is a life lesson. Any kind of carnival scam is one of those where they're like, hey, just give it a shot. And if you win, they say, see how easy it is? Try again. You think you're going to win any more than that? No. You're going to lose the next 3. They're going to be like, yeah, but you got the touch. You can do it this time.
And see, when he was doing that shit with those coconut shells, the karma for him is that when he walked away, and a coconut actually fell on his head. Like, where the fuck I come from?
I know.
Karma, bitch.
They're not even indigenous to this area.
We're not even under any trees. See, karma, man.
I know. It's some bird flying by with a coconut that lost his grip right at that second. A toucan from Hawaii just had to be flying by him.
A cargo plane carrying coconuts actually tipped over. Man, now see, here's where the problem comes into play, Holmes. You heard my story. Now I want to hear yours.
My story?
I'm doing the Mexican from Training Day. Remember Ethan Hawke pulled that gun out, and they were trying to get his gun away from him.
Yeah,
and they were like, "You carry a gun, pig?" And he was like, "What? Like, yeah." Like,
oh, right.
And the Mexican's like, "What? Like this?" And he's like, "See, here's where the problem comes into play, Holmes. You've seen mine. I want to see yours." And they snatched that gun away from his ass. Talk about fucking him in the ass and taking him to the bathroom and shooting him.
You ever had your shit packed?
Oh yeah, that's like in real cast. That's where you knew shit was going down.
I was like, actually, I'd like to just go home. Yeah. It's all the same to you fellas.
That question came out of nowhere. People, have you ever seen Training Day? Leon and I love this movie. And I'll always quote this movie, but there's a part in there where they just, out of the blue, Ethan Hawke is sitting down with these 3 gangsters, these 3 from a Mexican gang. And they're playing cards and you can tell that they're messing with him, but out of nowhere, the question comes out. One of them says, so, hey, pig, you ever had your shit pushed in? And Ethan Hawke is like, what the fuck?
Right, yeah.
And they act like it's nothing.
Yeah.
This is a real simple question, Holmes. You ever had your shit pushed in? What about you, man? The other guy's like, yeah, my shit pushed in big time, Holmes. And Smiley, the lead Mexican, he's the leader. He's like, what about you, Smiley? He's like, oh yeah, I'll always get love from the homies. That's when Ethan Hawke was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Tried to hit him on the head with that bottle, tried to get out of there.
That is one of those jump through the window moments.
Yes, but no, I was saying, I told where I did something that I did something wrong and got away with it.
Well, I mean, I told about, me scraping a car also.
Was that it? You driving that red truck, weren't you? You were that old man driving that red truck.
No, I didn't do that.
Nobody got the license plate number. You drove away laughing. You put a stamp on the side of your car.
The sad thing is, my mom who sells car insurance, she was telling me, because I've had that happen to me, like the story I told.
Yeah.
And just, other times. And she's just like, yeah, the sad thing is, if you hit another car, you actually are better off to take off and take your chances on getting away. Because even if you get caught, the process, unless somebody's hurt, the penalty's not gonna be that big. And I'm like, Mom, that's really fucked up. She's like, I know, it is a bad system.
Yeah, well,
but I would urge our listeners
to not do that.
Well, not only to not do that, but if you see it happen, get out there, be a witness. Just don't let this shit go.
No, I've been a witness to things like that before. Man.
I mean, something where like a little fender bender, that ain't no big deal. I ain't worried about that.
No,
because I've had people like roll up on me, like stop short and hit my car. We both get out. I looked at my car. I'm like, that's one scrape. I ain't. You know what? Don't let this ruin your day. Go on about your business.
Yeah. No, and I've had my situation be where I've had witnesses almost every time I've been hit. I remember being in college. A guy that I actually didn't know it was my car, but he was a good enough guy, a guy named Hondo. Yeah. Was good enough to leave a note on my car saying, I witnessed somebody trying to parallel park. They ran into your car. Don't know how much damage is done, but when they knew they made contact, they backed out and drove away in the rainy sunset. And I was like, and they got the license plate number. It wasn't any damage to my car, but that was actually kind of cool that they did that. Yeah. So yeah, people, there's your life lesson right there. You kids out there, don't expect life to be fair all the time, but you can diminish your chances if you do the right thing. So, yeah. Not encouraging people to try to get away with shit.
So, the more you know, and knowing's half the battle.
There you go, playing that flute like Jethro Tull. Right. All you kids are like, who's Jethro Tull?
That's true, man. Yeah, it's funny. I'll think of these messages like, yeah, I couldn't keep up with all these references you were throwing out, but I was like, these ain't obscure. You're like, if you were born 30 years ago.
That time, yes. I got to thank you, by the way, for giving me Breaking Bad for my birthday.
Oh, man, I am so happy that you like that.
I'm 4 episodes into it, and I've been loving it.
Yeah, I know, like the 3rd and the 4th episodes are like 2 of the best episodes.
Breaking Bad, for people who don't know, it's an AMC series that's already out on DVD. You bought me the first season, and it's about a chemistry teacher, a high school chemistry teacher, and he's played by the guy who's a dad on Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah. Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Bryan Cranston.
And he's already won an Emmy for this. Yeah. And he's having some hard times.
Yeah, he turns 50, he finds out he's got terminal lung cancer.
And he's working at a car wash.
Yeah, to make ends meet.
Yeah, and that's where I felt like he says he has cancer, but you know where I felt really bad for him? Not when he found out he had cancer, but when one of his little shithead students, like one of these little rich brats, had like their real nice car going through the car wash, and he was and the teacher had to go out there and wash cars because the car wash was shorthanded. Yeah, and that student comes up with his hot girlfriend. They were like, "Hey, Mr. White," yeah. and the girl is like, "Oh, you're never gonna believe who's washing our car." And she starts taking pictures of him with the phone.
Man, I forgot about that.
I was like, man, I don't know why, but I feel really bad for him more than him finding out he has cancer right there. Yeah. And he just says, fuck it. So his brother-in-law's a DEA agent. Yeah. And he goes on a run with this guy, and they bust a meth lab. And him being a chemistry teacher, he's like, you know what? I can make meth, and I can make the purest meth out there. Just so happens he sees one of his little flunky ex-students jumping out of a window, escaping the bust. He finds that kid, and I guess the kid's like in his 20s now, but he finds him and says, hey, I'm not here to, because they make eye contact during the bust. And and he thinks the kid thinks he's there to bust him. Right. And he's like, look, I'm not here to bust you. I'm not here to rat on you. I want to cook meth.
Right. I want to make an arrangement.
Yeah, I want to go into business. I want to be partners. And of course, you know ahead of time, there's all kind of things that can go wrong, and they do.
Oh, yeah. And
they do almost immediately. Like, you think later on down the line, at some point, they're going to run the drug dealers who aren't going to like this. Well, that's the next episode. So yeah. But speaking of my birthday, man, people are familiar with this site and who go on further with this. They know I don't really make a big deal about my birthday. I don't. Usually people get together, we have some beers and whatnot, and people are nice enough to give me things. If I don't get things from people, you know, I
hey, man, really, you know, we all love you.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I know that. No, I really have reached that point in my life where, and people will reach this at some point. I reached it almost when I got out of college, man. It's just kind of like, you know, I live a really fortunate life.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot. I'm trying to clean my place out. You know,
I hear you.
It is like, I really don't need for people to give me gifts. I mean, if they're cool gifts like what you gave me, I love books, I love DVDs.
Right.
I will always accept that, and I will always watch them, because those things, if I ever get tired of them, I can pass that entertainment off to somebody else.
I guess that's true. I mean, I was worried about, you know, getting that for you, because I'm like, this is something I know he would love, but your schedule is always so tight. I never know if you have time to watch it. But then I know you watch Training Day almost every day, so I'm like, okay, he can skip Training Day for 2 days.
People are like,
watch this.
Yeah, because you came in and had Training Day.
Yeah.
People are like, what is your fucking problem with Training Day? What is with you? Are you mental?
I love that. Like when Nick Hodges came to stay with you, you turned him into Ethan Hawke just so you could act that movie out.
And I want to let people know, that story is slightly exaggerated. Everybody thinks Ethan Hawke. No, everybody thinks Nick and I like really had some knockout, drag out. No, we had one moment in where we got, he said something, I got irritated by it, and we both kind of agree, like maybe it was like the wrong thing to say at that moment.
Sure.
And maybe I overreacted a little bit, but it wasn't like I told people like I pulled over and pointed a gun at his head, all kind of shit. No, none of that happened. I didn't even really yell at him. I just said, hey man, you know, I can tell you exactly what happened, just so people know. We were talking about somebody, and I was defending this person, and then I felt like he had insulted me when I was defending this person. And then I just turned to him and I said this. I said,
"Did I insult him? You insult him a little bit, little bit. Then you insult him a little bit."
But I don't even think he meant to go there with that. He didn't even know what he was saying. But it just got to him at the moment. I said, "Well, you know what? If I'm so weak, then you can find some other place to stay." And of course, I wasn't going to put him out. It was
man. He's all the way. He's so far from his home.
He knows I was not going to put him out. He knows that. I mean, he looked at me and he's like, okay, maybe I did go too far. And even that, and at the moment, I was like, you know what, man, it's not that bad.
Here. Why don't you go across the street to Church's Chicken and buy me a 2-piece and get yourself something?
yeah, he's doing Morgan Freeman from a Street Smart. Those are two of my favorite movies to watch.
Those movies are very similar.
I told people Training Day and Street Smart.
Street Smart.
Yeah, there are two movies about intimidating people who are kind of charming.
Yeah, very charming, intimidating people.
Yeah, and I've actually pulled a Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington on people, combined the two,
right.
And that's kind of what I did to Nick, but not to that extent. You know, I didn't break a bottle and point at Nick's face. Yeah, what? No. So I'm so happy with what I have, man. I'm in a very fortunate position right now to know people all around the world. People wishing me happy birthday and shit. And it's really cool. I'm able to travel these days, and I would feel really shitty if I sat up here and said, "What about my birthday? You know, you can get me enough for my birthday." I mean, it really is at the point where, hey, you know what? If you really feel that way, buy me I want to say a pint, talking about Nick. Buy me a glass of beer. You know, buy me. It doesn't matter.
Oh shit! I spent a lot of money on those DVDs. I should just got you a 6-pack.
On September 10th, I wouldn't be like, "Hey, Leon, what the fuck, man? Fucking birthday, man. That's what." No, I really do appreciate it. And if anybody's gonna give me anything, I love books and DVDs, and like I said, I don't even have Amazon wish list up or anything. I'm happy. And so, but the reason why I'm bringing up my birthday,
okay,
is because this year it's on 9909.
You turn it upside down. It's the mark of the beast.
Boy, I cannot believe that shit. The last time, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because on my last birthday, it got a little crazy. Got a little bit because of that date.
2008?
No, 2000. I mean, no,
1999. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say last year? I'm talking about my last birthday, and when it was
because it was quadruple nine.
Those symbolic numbers, because people making a big deal out of 9909. Like, ain't shit gonna happen because they had the chance to do it when it was a straight flush.
Right, that's true.
Straight nines. I mean, back then, nothing happened. I remember back then, first of all, they had that crazy ass movie End of Days come out.
Yep, End of Days, and we were on the verge of what was it? Was that big thing everybody was scared of?
Y2K.
Yes, Y2K.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, everybody was scared of Y2K. People thought the world was about to just fucking blow up at the strike of midnight.
Yeah. So all of you who are talking about 2012, just remember, think back to Y2K.
Yeah. Ain't shit gonna happen. Even Maya and Ghost looking at this like, we fucking around with that calendar. We didn't think.
Yeah. It's like, well, we did get conquered by the Spanish, so maybe we didn't know everything we thought we knew.
Yeah. Maybe some Spaniards will come down from space and attack. On 2012. But no, back in 1999, I had that movie End of Days. Y2K was up, but End of Days had me laughing.
Oh, I know.
They had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, Gabriel Byrne is the devil.
I love that movie, man.
Who was that? Rod Steiger?
Rod Steiger, yeah.
That's the reason. It's 1999. You turn it upside down. It's 666.
Yeah, when he was yelling that shit, he was like, it's the mark of the beast, which is thought to be 666, but it's not 666. It's 999. It was in 1999.
Yeah, that's what came up. Like, what about the one?
Yeah,
forget the fucking one. I'm trying to tell you people something.
Carry the one. That's what we do. Fuck it. The beast is coming. But I remember sitting. That's when Nicole was doing the access show with us, and Nicole even looked at me and she was like, that doesn't even make any sense. They're forcing this to be the sign of the beast.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop people when anytime you have numbers making some sort of pattern, they seem to have some sort of significance. People lose their shit, man.
People are dying to make connections to things.
Oh no, they are.
Oh no, it's this is meant to be. This was prophesized.
Yeah.
This is trying to tell us something.
Yeah,
I'm trying to tell you a goddamn thing.
Trying to tell you quit acting like a goddamn fool. That's what they're trying. Relax is what it's saying. Because during 1999, now I remember at that time, I was feeling real cool, man. It was like, oh yeah, 999. And all this shit was coming out on my birthday. All this music and DVDs. And at the time, Sony had the Dreamcast come out. Oh no, it wasn't Sony. It was
It was Sega?
Sega. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Sega Dreamcast. Yeah. I think the slogan for the Dreamcast was, shh, it's thinking. I'm like, okay, what is it fucking thinking about there? Because this shit ain't doing nothing when I'm looking at it. That must be a long ass thought. But so I went out and bought a Dreamcast just because I was like, well, I heard a lot of cool things about it. It's my birthday. I'm going to buy this anyway because I know my mama going to pay me back for it anyway. So I went and got it, and that night we were playing Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast, and we were all having a good time getting drunk and playing video games, and we had a big party in my place, and there was this guy that I knew. I don't want to say his name right now, but
he's one of the producers on your movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But I ain't gonna say it ain't Adam,
right?
Ain't Janice. So,
okay,
so do the math. But so he was there, man. He's a lawyer, well off lawyer, and why he was that should have been the first time. I was like, why the fuck is he hanging around us? He's like a well off lawyer with a son and all this kind of shit. Why is he dealing with?
He's a nice guy, but he's also a close talker.
Yeah,
like whenever he talked to you, you'd find yourself backing up.
Yeah,
but just to reclaim some personal space.
He was intense.
Yeah,
he had the look in his eyes too and shit. Like you expected to get shanked when he was talking to you. He was looking at you so hard. But he came up to me. Now he pulled me aside. I'm sitting up there playing some games and shit, having a good time. And he pulls me aside. And he gives me a book. I can't remember what the book is, but it did have something to do with the end of times.
Was it written by Jack Chick?
No, it's like Chick Comics. Yeah. Oh, kids, you gotta check out Chick Comics, man.
Chick Tracks. I think it might even be chicktracks.com.
Wait a minute, say that thought, well, because that's something I can get real deep into. But so yeah, he gave me this book, and it wasn't Chick Comics. I think it was the novelization for End of Days. No, it was no, I don't know what it was. It had something to do with the Rapture.
Okay,
and and I said, well, okay, so what is this about, man? And he's like, I want you to read that, man. I was like, okay, seriously, man, this is about the rapture, isn't it? I mean, this is about the end of the world. And he's like, it's not the end of the world, brother. It's the beginning. And I want you to read that because when it goes down, I want you to be there with me. I was like, fuck, man, I'm sitting up here playing Dreamcast. I'm getting you fucking ruining my I'm like what's his name from Hustle and Flow. I'm like Terrence Howard. You fucking with my mode, man.
Yeah, right.
Fucking with my mode, man. I'm just playing Dreamcast. I'm like, man, I'm sitting up here having some good vibes going on, and you just fucking it all up for me. Talking about the end of days right now. I'm sitting up here trying to I'm just trying to play some fucking video games.
Corey, it's 1999. You know what that means? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be hearing that Prince song a whole lot this year. That's it.
Yeah, I was just kind of like looking at him. I really did tell him, I was like, man, you know I'm not buying into this shit, right? I said, I really appreciate the gesture that you want to save my life right now. Like, fucking mothership's coming down is going to take us off or something. But really, man, don't just relax. I mean, maybe when I get drunk tonight, I might freak out and need you to talk to me. But right now.
Yeah, but now don't you feel stupid that the rapture happened and all those people? Oh, wait, that didn't happen, did it?
Well, now that I think about it, I really haven't heard from him since.
I saw him last year.
Okay, all right. His ass is still here. I probably had heard from him because he woke up the next day and it's like, fuck, I look stupid. I can't even get that book back now.
My grandmama gave me that book. It's my book, punk.
And sit up there on a big case of water. Like when Y2K was coming, man. Kids, if you were alive at the time, fortunate enough to believe in Y2K, because Y2K was when the computer was supposed to set itself back, and we were supposed to have like just a shutdown of the grid.
Right. Yeah, all electronic devices and computer controlled things are going to just go on the fritz, just stop, like a worldwide EMP.
There were even predictions that Skynet would come to life and the Terminators would come out and shit. Yeah.
The world would go into chaos. Money would not be worth anything, only gold. Like everybody was hoarding water and shotguns.
Yeah, it was supposed to be chaos in the streets. It was supposed to be like those in every apocalyptic movie where something goes down and people in the streets and they're fighting each other trying to survive. It's just it's what do you call it? Not even martial law, but it's like oh fuck, man! It's
not martial law. That sounds like what you're talking about.
No, because martial law means that you have people going in and just kind of controlling things. Nothing's controlled at this point.
Oh, right, just complete chaos.
It's anarchy. Anarchy in the streets. Yeah, and the next day that shit didn't happen. And people had water for the next 5 years. People had bottled water for the next 5 years, man.
Oh, man, I had some friends who had huge vats of water. Like a year later, I went in their garages and saw it. I'm like, what is this? Hey, man, I had to be prepared.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
fuck.
Yeah. It's like, well, you can take down this monument to your stupidity right now.
I think some people even had bomb shelters and shit in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, well, let's throw a part in that shelter because you ain't doing nothing else with it.
And shotguns. Come on.
Yeah, that'll be your fucking place where you want to go when you want to jack off in privacy, I guess, because we're going to look for you there. You know but, nah, man, so I'm thinking this year, like, what's going to happen, man? Because it's 9909.
Right.
And there have been some theories going around, like, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this slight ones, like something. At this point, people have run out of things.
I mean, because it seems like everybody's talking about 2012. That's like the next.
It's overshadowed by 2012, but you get like those one or two people that you run into, like, okay, so what does this mean? Man, I don't know what it means. Fuck, but something's gonna happen. I can't tell you any more shit. But it's you mark my words.
Yeah.
But no, it's not as crazy as it was when 1999 was around. I think because, well, you didn't have Y2K right around the corner. I think people just kind of learned at that point. I mean, right now, people are just starting to be. I think people are starting to like be a little smarter. We've gone through enough.
Well, then you get the feeling like I got the feeling like with Y2K, the way it was talked about, like on the news and everything, like it was legitimate. There was a point. There was like something in people where they wanted it to happen. Like they want something to happen.
Oh yeah, no, they wanted bandits in the street. I mean, I think because you had those people that wanted to be Mel Gibson, they wanted to be the road warrior.
Yeah. You know, we get complacent, a little bored. Then we had 9/11, and it's like, okay, you got your wish. How about that? And it's like, okay, not so much.
Yeah, it's not so fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, if I get shot, there's not a doctor around.
Right.
Yeah, you know, no, it's no, everybody want to be Mad Max and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody wants to go be on Thunderdome, but nah, man, ain't nothing cool about that. And Because you got these people right now who are like, they say, man, I can't wait for the zombie apocalypse.
You know what? It's funny we talk about these two subjects. When we were at Comic-Con, I just quick went to the panel for American Dad, and they showed the Christmas episode, and it's all about where the rapture happens, and he doesn't get to go. Stan doesn't get to go because he has sex with his wife in the church, and it's all like the big fight between the angels and demons, and then it's like they flash to like a few years later where it is like a post-apocalyptic world, and he's like Snake Plissken
with a patch.
Yeah. With a patch and a hook hand. It was also a funny episode. I'm looking forward to it coming on.
He has to team up with Jesus, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's funny.
Yeah.
See, if the rapture was like that, I want it to be like a Rush Hour where me and Jesus team up. Like on Family Guy. You crazy, Jesus, you crazy.
Same time, man. I don't know you. Same time.
You ever use one of these? You remember that on Family Guy when Jesus pointed, he had that gun in his hand. He looked at Chris Tucker. You ever use one of these? And Chris Tucker had the spliff in his hand, a marijuana joint. He's like, you ever use one of these? Man. Oh man, no, it's those man, you mentioned those chick comics, man.
Oh yeah, man.
They're on the internet now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's jackchick.com or Chick Tracks. I know if you look up Jack Chick Tracks, TRACTS, just Google that, you'll find the site, and they have them all posted online. But man, I remember when I was a kid, those comics used to scare religion into me and out of me. Because you'd be at a concert and somebody be on the ground, you pick those comic books. You take that.
They were at Comic-Con.
Were they?
Yeah, there was some on the ground at Comic-Con.
Oh shit, that'd be the perfect place for them.
I don't know if it was a joke or if somebody was on a crusade there.
Well, you know what?
They were comics and religious comics.
Because you can go on the site and like for $5, just a simple $5, they'll send you a pack with almost all of them.
For $5?
For $5, you'll be amazed by how many you'll get for that $5.
Yes, back in the 70s and 80s, they had these little. They were small comics about the size of, what would you say about the size of like a TV remote control or something?
Yeah, probably about that size.
And they were comics, and they figured like, okay, people are going to read these and they're going to get into it, and then at the end they have like the most frightening message about religion. Like if you do not find Jesus or God, you will burn in hell forever.
And there's one that demon. They have one for every subject. One that talks about how demonic the Mormons are, the Catholics. One about Dungeons and Dragons. One about how like Sodom and Gomorrah is happening right now. They have some all about like a little orphan kid who gets abused his whole life until he dies in the street of pneumonia. But Jesus loves him, so he's all right. One of the first ones they have you read is "You're Wrong." Where this kid, he's about to go to church, and this guy is like, "Man, you don't want to go in there. Come hang out with me." And they go out on the whole day of doing shit, and that guy's like telling like, "Yeah, man, people believe in God are suckers and all this." And his whole thing, he's like, I think he let the kids drive, and they like coming to a train, and he's like, "Oh, don't step on the brakes. Hit it. You can make it." That train hits them. And they both are going to hell. And the kid's like in that guy's face, like, "Hey, man, you said we could make that train, but you were wrong." And that guy pulls off his mask and he's the devil. He's like, "No, kid, you were wrong."
Yeah, man. They were either depressing or they were scary. Because you had some that were depressing. Like you could live your whole life suffering, but that was you want to live a depressing life anymore, because when you die, you'll find Jesus if you just believe in him, no matter how hard you have it. It's kind of like, that was kind of like a cop out, like Hans Christian Andersen's, the Little Match Girl. Like that whole story is her suffering in the snow. She freezes to death. But at the end of it, to make you feel better, she goes up into heaven and sees her grandmother, and it's like, no, this bitch is hallucinating on her way on her way to death. I mean, her mind is just like, the oxygen is leaving and she's just having fever dreams and shit. But no, do you remember the one, the Big Sissy?
Oh, dude, I was going to bring up the Big Sissy.
The truck driver?
Yeah. These two truck drivers, the guy has a sign on his truck, on his license plate, or his bumper sticker about Jesus. And these truck drivers like, this guy's a Jesus sticker. He must be a sissy. And this huge, like 7-foot truck driver comes around and is like, "What'd you boys say about Jesus? You think he was a sissy? Come in. Let me tell you about Jesus." And they're both like,
Of course, they're going to be like, "Shit, okay. Whatever you want."
Man, my favorite one is Holy Joe. Have you read Holy Joe?
No, I don't think so. I think I heard you talk about it.
Dude, yeah, it's like during like the Vietnam War, and Holy Joe's sort of like Gomer Pyle, where he's just so religious and happy all the time, and the other soldiers hate him. and they're like, man, we got a fucking Holy Joe in here. Like, Holy Joe, here's some shoes for you. They all throw their shoes at him. But the next day they wake up, he has shined all their shoes. And they're like, God damn, that Holy Joe, man. That guy, ooh, he makes me mad. The Sarge just hates him. And there's one guy, like another private's like, hey, Sarge, what, man, Holy Joe ain't hurt nobody. Why don't you leave him alone? And the Sarge's like, oh, yeah, you want some of this too? And then Holy Joe comes up to that guy who was like on his side and says like, I appreciate you taking up for me, but if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell like everybody else.
And then that guy threw a shoe at him.
The guy's like, hey man, fuck you. So anyway, they get ready. They're like, we got to take this hill. It's going to be a suicide mission. Who we going to send? Hey, I got the perfect guy. We're going to send Holy Joe. They send Holy Joe out there, but then the rest of them have to go too. And the Sarge comes up. He sees Holy Joe's dead body, but he's got a smile on his face, looking content. And that Sarge is like, oh man, Holy Joe, he believed in Jesus and he wasn't afraid to die. He gets down his knees. Oh Lord, I've been a sinner my whole life, but if you I accept you into my heart, and I believe in you, everlasting life, blah blah blah. Kaboom! Blown to smithereens right there on the spot.
And then they cut to Jesus, who threw the dynamite. Gotcha.
But the bad thing is, like, because of that last minute, right before death confession, the Sarge goes to heaven. But the guy who took up for Holy Joe goes to hell.
Oh, these comments are fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I swear these comments have fucked up the mind of many a child out there.
Yeah.
Because that was their way to reach, kind of like the gateway to reach kids. It's like,
oh, yeah.
They're comic books. I'm like, kids love comics, but they didn't know that this shit was scarier than Friday the 13th to some people.
Yeah. Oh, no, man. That whole thing about Dungeons and Dragons, like you playing this, but it's a gateway to worshiping Satan and demons. Look at you got trolls in here. It's all about demons.
See, Carlisle, I told you going to hell, man. I told you about that shit, that devil shit you playing. Tried to help him, man.
Hey, sometimes you got to let him go.
So you're going to see me playing Xbox with a smile on my face when I'm dead. So up there, I'm going to heaven with an Xbox controller. You sitting up there playing Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to hell with an 8-sided die in your hand.
Or you're going to hell.
Oh, yeah.
He said, Corey, yes, but in hell, you get to play Xbox all you want. I do? Well, of course. However, you'll be getting fucked at the time.
What game am I playing?
Right.
I can deal with that. No, I'd be the guy that'd be like, oh Lord, I'm sorry, I accept you as my savior, and please let me into heaven. Kaboom! And when I get there, they'd be like, not you.
I'd be like, well, you were like 2 words short. Like you were almost there. If the bomb had gone off just like 30 seconds later.
No, even if I got it all in, they have a checklist and be like, this shit is just way too long, man. We can do
right.
Yeah, brother, sorry. I mean, I can talk to some people, but I can tell you they're going to say no.
And you know what they say? Like, you remember when you hit that car and drove off? That was the thing that put you over.
What? But the woman lived it. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
I mean, you had such a long roster. I mean, shit. I'll ask somebody, but make a call.
I fought for you. Honestly, I did.
I got Corey here saying, "Oh no, okay, sorry, man."
Sorry,
But boom, bye.
Say consolation to you. A lot of your friends will be there.
Hey, Leon. Speaking of demons, man, got in trolls.
Speaking
of trolls.
On to trolls.
We got some fucking trolls on this site, man. We got them bigger now.
Not as many as most sites, but they are starting to build. They're starting to form a legion here.
Oh, yeah. They starting to make a town.
Troll town.
Yeah. A little troll shanty town. Next thing you know, they're going to have a whole mountain to themselves. But yeah, man, and look, people, we mentioned this. They always say the golden rule on the internet is don't feed the trolls. But here at Spill.com, we're very open with you.
Right. Hey, that's what we're all about. It's all a big party, and you're invited.
Yeah, and this is to let you know that, hey, look, we are looking out for you because we are trying to foster something kind of cool here, and we want to let you know that we are proactive with you, and we notice these things going on. So when there's people out there just being a shithead, we're not actually trying to let them.
Right. I mean, look, I think the policy is that we aren't going to jump on everybody and ban people right off the bat because everybody can have a bad day. We want to give freedom. However, there's certain things that people are going to do and be persistent about where it's like, all right, you've kind of worn out your welcome here.
People do things, how consistent they are, because we do have a chance where we go in and we give people a warning and we say, look, you might want to cool it. even some of the most vicious people, we've gone in and say, hey, man, can you not do this? They had a guy who made racist pictures on here. And I went in and said, hey, man, look, just lay back on those pictures. That's all. And he just made more, you know. Oh, no, that's what he came in and said. There was some movie that we talked about. He's like, yeah, only niggers would love this movie. You and I like. And I was just like, I guess that settles that. So, you know, let me go ahead and get this guy out of here. But it's not. We're starting to get racist. We're starting to get people who just try to cause trouble with other people for no reason at all.
People who want to post porn pics.
Well, that's been from day one.
I know. It's just kind of annoying.
And see, that's why I always give people a chance, because there were some pictures.
Sometimes people don't know. They think anything goes, and it's like, that anything goes has an asterisk by it.
And I look at those pictures before they go down, so it's okay. You know, I'll give you a couple of chances with that, because we had a guy who posted some pictures from that movie, Land Palin or something like that.
Oh, right.
You know, the porno movie where they had a Sarah Palin lookalike.
Right.
And those pictures were kind of cool, man. I want to see that movie now.
That chick is hot.
Yeah,
I think her name's Lisa Ann or something.
Yeah, something like that. Don't go post those pictures now. But yeah, I saw those pictures of her, and I was like, I did look at them for a while. I almost forgot that I should take them down. I was like, wow, who is this? I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to tell this person. I went and told the guy. I said, yeah, man, you know we can't really post these pics. And he came back and he said, you know what? My apologies. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Yeah. And he was real cool about it. So I try to give people a chance. Even some of the most vile people, I would say, maybe you're just trying to get attention. But this ain't the place. Yeah. So if you just kind of cool out and just kind of foster the kind of atmosphere that we're also trying to foster, you can stick around. And some people just don't take the hint. Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to name any of them, but yeah, there's some people who...
Well, you want to? I want to name one.
Okay.
Because the guy kind of... I think he's kind of funny.
Okay. CFAT. That dude,
CFAT?
Yeah,
I thought he was kind of cool, man.
No, I haven't had trouble with him in a long time. But there was a time.
Oh, you two were going at
it. He was like my arch nemesis
because he was always cool with me. Yeah, I forgot that you said, because we had the discussion before.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he was being really like nasty, insulting to some of the people. You know, some people in Leog. You know, I'm protective of my crew. Like, hey, you want to talk about me? I don't care, but. You know, I got a good group of people who come in to, they put in hard work and they're not asking for that.
I don't even get paid.
Yeah. And, you know.
I'm waiting for the day when them come up and ask me, hey, can I get paid? I'm like, I didn't tell you to come here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, it can happen anytime. I mean, they really are selfless about it. But this kind of thing where, like, you know what? We don't have to have our asses kissed. And you don't have to give compliments. And it's one thing to be constructive, like, well, I didn't really care for this, or you said this and I disagree. But it's a completely different vibe to be nasty or personal or call names. And that's just like
CFAT. What's going on? I've never seen that side of you, man.
Well, I mean, you know what? That was a year ago. I mean, I brought his name up as a joke.
Well, I saw him recently leaving some comments. He seems pretty nice to me. I like that guy a lot, actually. I don't
know what you said to him, but he chilled out. Now,
I don't even know if I said anything. Maybe I did. I can't remember.
I don't know, but you know.
Well, the one that's going around right now, it's a guy named
Mr. Flesh Eater.
Mr. Flesh Eater.
Yeah, that dude. I mean, as much as I want to blast him off, he's starting to get on my fucking nerves.
Well, he's been leaving some comments because see, this is the funny thing. You get some guys who come in with the Trojan horse and they start off with compliments.
Yeah.
Hey, this is cool. Yeah, good job, guys. And then they start like putting in little things like, you know, that review is stupid, but I understand where you're coming from. All right, good. And then they just start coming in attacking you. Are you like that? You must be an idiot. You must be stupid.
Well, his whole tagline is, no offense, but your voice is annoying. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I've seen this.
That's your thing. You're no offense. So that's a nice little catchphase you got there.
Yeah.
No offense, but you suck.
Yeah. See, I've been catching that because he started with Carlisle, then he started with me. And then now he's on you.
Yeah.
I saw, because I put up your review for Extract today.
Uh-huh.
And he read it and he's like, you gave Gamer some old bullshit, but you gave this a rental? Man, sorry. Oh, that's what he said. Sorry, but you're stupid.
Okay, I didn't even read that. But I mean, you know what? Probably the thing that annoys me about him is that his game is weak. And it's just kind of tired. It's more like that annoying bug that you just swatting at that won't go away.
Well, he's the kind of guy who has come in and said things like, "Hey, you're stupid."
Wow, worked on that all day, huh?
Well, yeah, it was like. Meanwhile, he's misspelling shit all over the place. He's saying that seriously, but the guy's been kind of cool because he comes in, he says things like, "Hey, guys, I read this. Good review. Good job, guys." And then next thing he'll come in. That's what he did the other day. I'll tell you what he did to me. I told you this before we started. He came in for the gamer review, and he said to me, he's like, "Hey, man, when you're being funny, you're hilarious. But when you try to be serious, you just say a bunch of dumb stuff. Stick with being funny. Don't say anything. Don't try to be smart." And I already knew where this guy was coming from. So I just like, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave it alone. And then later on another review, when I said that I had a few things to drink, he came in and said, "Hey, Corey, you know what? You do a good job even when you're drunk. Nice job, guys." I was up there. I was like, now if you want to get me, that's how you get me. You make me confused. Cause I was like, if earlier I was like, this motherfucker Ray, oh, here he is again. Oh, that's sweet.
That's kind of a backhanded compliment.
Please, I'm trying to pull some nice out of it. Believe me, I thought about it. I did think about that. But I don't know if he was clever enough to make that a backhanded compliment.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there. But he will often say, "Good job, guys." And he'll mean it. And so I'm kind of confused. Now, what pulled me over here, or put me over to thinking that he's kind of just causing trouble. He made a group about about Nick Hodges being an asshole or a shithead or something. I took it down, but that's all it was. Nick Hodges is an asshole. Nick
is totally cool. I loved every minute I spent with Nick when he was here.
Yeah, Nick was the nicest guy, man. And Nick continues to be one of the most active guys on the site. He's creating shit that people flock to.
Yeah.
He threw parties for us in London. I mean, the guy is the nicest guy in the world. I almost feel like, you talk shit about Nick, you're talking about me, and I don't like it, It was somebody else. It was a couple of people who were on there. I just let it go because there's only two people. I figured they were from a part of Europe that probably hates Britain.
Oh, okay.
And so when I heard that, because I looked at their sites, like one guy was from Norway or something like that, and I just let it go. I was like, all right, that's between them.
Yeah,
that's that side. That's that side of the pond. So, but yeah, I don't want to ban anybody. I don't, and I'm
sure.
and I'm gonna probably. Mr. Flesh Eater, I probably will have to talk to you personally, but right now I'm giving an open call to cool it.
It is that. This is just like that first tap where he goes like, "Hey, you might want to think about just settling down a little bit."
Yeah, because I like you, man. I think the guy's kind of funny. I really do. I mean, somebody like that who comes in with these little quips, whether they be clever or not, and then come back and give these like crazy compliments too. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I kind of like the guy, but okay. I don't know if he knows better or if he's just out here causing trouble. And I gotta tell you, Mr. Flesh Eater, if you're causing trouble, it ain't anything for me. That's why I don't mind mentioning trolls, because it's one press of a button.
I guess that's true.
Like people can keep coming back, and it's just one press of a button. That's it. I mean, I've had people like try to test that. I mean, they'll come. I forgot who it was. I'm not going to even say it because they might start. But somebody just kept coming back with a different profile.
I think a lot of people will know who you're referring to. He who must not be named.
No, it's not who you.
Oh, not him. Okay.
Oh, let me hold on. I cut it off for a second to see if we were thinking about the same person.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same person.
Okay.
It's actually a female I'm thinking about.
But
yeah, they kept coming back, and it's just like punch, just pressing the button. It was like no big deal. It really wasn't. And for the little while that they're up there, I mean, nobody really cares. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And I don't think we're going to get that many that people will waste their time wanting to just come here and just.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, honestly, if you want to be a troll, there's better places to do that.
Yeah, and really go somewhere where nobody's really paying attention. I mean, because people here are not going to really get riled up. I mean, people see somebody trolling, nobody gets crazy about it. It's just kind of like, hey, we'll get notices. People say this guy's causing trouble. What can you do about it? And I'll tell the person to stop, or if it's a spammer, they're gone immediately.
Right.
But we got enough watchdogs on here, and people kind of looking out for each other. And that's what's cool about the site, man. People are just looking out for each other, and they notice this shit.
Yeah. And this is not a spammer at all. Hal 9000 is actually seemed like a pretty cool member. But Hal, if you could like just back off on posting so many videos on everybody's pages.
Yeah, Hal, you got to slow down on goddamn pictures, man. I mean,
like I go to my page and there's like 6 videos posted one after the other. And it's like, dude, I'm asking you not to do this because I'm not gonna watch them. If you post 6 videos on my page, if you post 2 in a row, I'm probably not going to watch either of them. If there's one, I might be curious. Go like, oh, let me check this out. But a bunch of them, I'm like, you're just taking up real estate.
Yeah, getting people to watch your stuff, you don't do it by posting it over and over again. That's how you get people to not watch your stuff because people get pissed. If you want to get people to watch your stuff, make something cool, alert somebody.
Or find something cool, but just the one thing.
Yeah, and if you think it's worth being featured or if you think it's something that a lot of people will like, let me know. And I'll see what it's like, and if it's not, I'll tell you why. If you really even want to know why, I'll tell you why.
Let me ask you something.
What's that?
Do you answer everybody who emails you?
I try.
I try too, but I can't always do it. And then sometimes there's somebody I want to answer, but I'm real busy, and then it kind of slips through the cracks. Like weeks go by, and I'll go like, oh shit, I never got back to them.
Yeah, because you got to keep in mind, my email gets also flooded with the emails for questions for a couple of cold ones, and let's do this.
Right.
So sometimes things do get lost in the crack. Or if I'm having to go out of town for a little while, the whole day will go by and I won't be able to check my mail, and then it'll get pushed down. And I try, but I do try.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get offended, anybody, if we don't answer emails, because we try.
Right. Because what's on my mind right now is like I got an email from Moxie from last week, and I was planning to answer her back, and I haven't had a chance to. And she and I used to always have these great email volleys, but I'm like, shit. I got to try to do that because now it's going to be pushed down to like number 13.
Oh, yeah. No, that happens a lot. I mean, it's just something that happens. And somebody has an email about that we'll probably read later. But someone, I forgot who it was. I think it was, I forgot the guy's name, but he asked about podcasting. I wanted some advice, and I meant to answer back and totally forgot. Did you get the same email?
Yeah. They usually ask me, and I send them to you. I was like, ask Corey.
I guess is what happened.
Or I think in the case of that one, that was where I meant to say. See, I never got around to telling them to ask you. I was like, yeah, I got to tell that guy to ask Corey.
He just thinks we're the biggest assholes in the world right now. Those motherfuckers, full of themselves, don't give a shit about anybody on the side.
I knew you back when you were nothing. Nothing. I remember back when you guys were on the WB and nobody was watching your shit.
Yeah, that would be a while back too. So you were old and answer if you remember that shit. You were old and answer if you remember watching that show at all. That show wasn't too bad though.
I thought it was a good show. I mean, we had good ratings. That's the thing that kills me. It's like, it went on for the most arbitrary of reasons.
I was ready to go though.
I know you hated it.
We did a WB show where they told us, and maybe you heard us say this before. If you have, then fuck it, go get some milk or something. If you haven't. But we did this show for okay, we weren't like on hanging out with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all that
right,
kind of shit.
Yeah, or the Wayans brothers.
yeah, we didn't take over for the Wayans brothers when that show went off. No, we was a local WB affiliate.
Right.
And the first thing that when it got pitched to them, because we were asked to do it by a friend of ours. It wasn't like we were trying to go and do it. And he asked us if we would. And we were like, hey, man, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
right.
Sure, let's see where this goes. And so when he went to ask his boss, the producer at the station, or the station manager, general manager, whatever, her reply was, well, they can do this, but I just don't want this to look like an access show. And we already kind of insulted because that's what we did. We were
doing an access show. Yeah, I remember our producer coming to us, kind of like, look, guys, I don't want this to look like an access show. I was like, well, have you ever seen our show? No. Is it any good? Like, I'm like, wait, why'd you hire us? Well, I knew you guys did a show.
Hire us. We got to be paid to be hired.
Right.
Got paid with being talked about. No, we didn't get paid, and they gave us it was a raw deal all around, man. First of all, the set looked like an access show.
Yeah, that was the funny thing, is that it did look like an access show.
I fought to get chairs. Those chairs is because I bugged somebody to get them. I was like, it's like I actually found them. I said, look, man, we can go to this place. They got chairs available, because I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. It was like we had no props.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate this kind of motif, but okay, let's just Yeah, hey, look, we're movie critics sitting on movie props.
In the back of the theater, not a movie theater, like a community theater.
With the lights on.
like if you look over to your left, that's where they do the news with the nice lucite desk and the fake Austin in the background.
Yeah, you had to give up after a while because they're like, that looks good, right? And you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, it does. Let's just shoot this. Sure. so we, and then the other thing was when we finally, because we were saying, look, we're doing this, but we were doing this because we thought we would get some money. And they were like, okay, well, you're going to get your money through ad revenue. And we're
right,
like, okay.
Right. Yeah, you guys sell your ads. You get to keep all the money from the ads you sell.
Okay, so who do we get to sell our ads to? Well, we can tell you who you can't sell them to. Subway, Coke, Pepsi, Frito-Lay, pretty much anybody who has money you can't go to.
Right, you can't go to anybody who we already have a contract with. Which is, it's anybody who has money. You can only go to these certain local businesses.
You can go to Joe's Sandwich Shop over there on 8th Street in Guadalupe. You know, it's like,
And then the one I sold, they stole from me.
Oh, the Opal Divines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember they took us out to lunch because they felt guilty about that shit. I was just sitting there like, man, all right. You know, that's when I felt like this is not going to go anywhere.
But we were famous.
Yeah, I mean, we were.
Look, there were perks that came with that fame. I mean, I know you were angry the whole time, but it was nice, walking to restaurants and getting recognized and like, oh, here, take this table. And,
it was. It was. But it got to
our days at Ocean's 11, drinking till 4 a.m.
Oh man, I know. No, it was. Hey man, it was some great times. I mean, at the time, I tell you, and it sounds funny to do a show like that. We had it all, man, except money.
You know what? But that's the story with a lot of show business. I mean, there's a lot, the whole climb up the fame ladder. And not just show business, any kind of glamour profession is a lot of busting your ass for free to get to a certain point. No, there's just no getting around it.
Everybody in town knew us. We had a little bit of. I mean, look, it's big fish and small pond type thing.
Yeah.
And I even hesitate to say big fish. I mean,
we went big fish.
Don't get me wrong, people. I'm very grounded about this. That's why I was upset with it because it's everything you kind of want. It could have wanted. I mean, except having the cash. I mean, going everywhere, getting free meals everywhere, meeting women, having drinks given to us. I mean, it was surreal. It was like, wow, if this was on a national level, this would be cool, but fucking Austin. It's like, I mean, it's so, and I'm not gonna get a big head about this. I was very realistic about it. I was like, this is nothing. And so when I finally realized, I was like, these bitches ain't gonna give us any money. I was just like, I'll ride this out, man, and see where it goes. And right when I wanted to stop, that's when, I got.
That's true. Right. It was a good 18-month run, and then
it was 18 months, man. It was like almost 2 years, and I was that fateful day I was in Dallas.
Right, riding in the limousine with Mandy Moore, and I called you to like, hey man, the show got canceled.
I'm like, damn, this shit's just getting good. Man, yeah, but at that point I was really happy because I remember when you said, man, the show's canceled. I was like, well, shit, I have a tab downstairs at the bar, and me and this chick went down there, and we must have even the promotion company. When I talked to them the next day, they're like, I said, wow, thank you for the trip. I mean, that was really cool. I said, we're not going to be doing the show anymore though. And they're like, well, that's probably a good thing because you ran up a hell of a tab at that bar. The thing is, it was not me. I ordered a little bit. That chick was kind of a bitch, man. She just ran that shit up. I was looking at her because I was a little bit older than her, and I was like, you know what, you might want to slow down a little bit. She's like, well, this is free, and I was like, fuck, all right. I ordered a couple of strong drinks, and once I realized she wasn't giving up any ass, I was going to say, the hell with this. This ain't nothing. I was like, thought we were cool. That would have been the icing on the cake right there. I would have came back to Austin like, yeah, fuck this show. I went out with a bang.
Oh man, I didn't know Mandy Moore was such an ice queen.
Oh, it wasn't Mandy Moore, man. Wasn't Mandy Moore. I wasn't even. What was I there for? I wasn't even there for a Mandy Moore movie.
Yeah, you were.
No, it was another movie that I was there for, and I guess maybe I was in a limousine with her or somewhere. Yeah, I forgot where that was. No, I was there for Best of Show.
You sure?
Yeah,
because I could have sworn it was a whole thing with Mandy Moore.
No, I was there to talk to Christopher Guest.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Mandy Moore at the time. I forgot what that junket was about, but yeah, that was, yeah. So there, people see this is what happens. I told you, there's a lot of history here, boy.
Oh yeah. We haven't even talked about My favorite was when you did the interview with Mina Suvari and Thora Birch for American Beauty.
They were like giddy, man.
They were giddy. I mean, and watching, that was like one of those interviews you watch, and it almost made me feel uncomfortable because it was getting way intimate between the three of y'all. I was like, it was like watching two people who were like about to start making out. And it's like they kind of thing like, wow, I'm kind of modest. I feel like I should be turned away.
Yeah, American Beauty came out, and I was talking to Thora Birch and
Mina
Savari, and yeah, it was. I don't know if they were drunk or what, but talking to them, I mean, even I felt uncomfortable because look, I ain't stupid. I knew it wasn't like next stop the hotel room and all that kind of shit.
You know what? Watching it looked like it was. But then, realistically, like there's a whole crew of people standing around.
Yeah. But they were just being like, I'd like crack a joke, and like I think it was Thora Birch. No, it was Mina Savari who like laughed and like she put her head on my shoulder and shit.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I was looking around so people would know, like, see, I ain't doing it. My hands are right here, and I'm not touching anybody. Shit, these bitches doing this themselves. But it was a good interview. We were having a good time.
No, it was a great interview.
You know how I am, man. I go in there and I act stupid, and people just. It's like Columbo.
Yeah.
Kids, there's a show called Columbo. Now, the older fans on the site know about Columbo. Columbo is a detective who went in, and he just kind of act goofy and dumb.
Yeah, he come in all rumpled, looking like a bum.
Yeah,
and act like he was dumb. He like, whoa, why are you doing this? And oh, I see. And just let people just walk themselves into a trap.
Well, he would come in. He probably wouldn't even like he wouldn't even act like he was talking about the case.
Yeah,
he'd come in and be like, well, I see that you got this baseball card here from 1956, and detective, could you please put that down? That's a very valuable antique there. It's a collector's item. Oh, I'm sorry. Of course. I don't know what I was thinking of. I got my fingerprints all over it and everything. And
my wife is always saying that about me, that I just put my hands all over everything.
Yeah, and their guard would be down.
Yeah.
And they would just think that they were smarter than him. And now I'm not talking about these celebrities that we interview. We're not talking like that. But the people's guard would be down. They just say anything.
Right.
And that's kind of the approach I do with these interviews. Do the Columbo thing, go in, that kind of stupid and goofy, and people are like, all right, I'm going to have a good time too.
Yeah, it's worked for you every time.
And that's what these girls were doing. I mean, they were just having a good time. At the time, I think they were like 18.
Yeah, that was the thing. They were both so young at the time, especially Thora Birch.
Yeah, they were 18 and they were just happy to be in a movie. They probably young and happy to be just having a good time and they were just.
Now, have you noticed that like a lot of actresses are just really flirty? Like so much so like I don't know if that's what they're told. Like, hey, when you're not in a movie, you need to flirt with everybody to make them like you.
I think it's just, especially with actresses.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see older. First of all, you get guys who just you come in and be cool with them. They'll just be like buddies. You know?
Right.
But women come in, and I think first of all, if you're an actress, you crave attention.
True.
And some of that attention comes from flirting with guys. I mean, it's just like strippers, except that these are not strippers. These are actors with their clothes on.
Right.
But they feel like they have to do that with everybody. They're always on.
Yeah, always on, and always just super, super flirty. Like when we would like trying to develop that show we were going to do, thought we were going to do for Fox, and we were auditioning actresses, and when we start coming out to the finalists, I was just amazed by how flirty they were, like to the point to where they really, without saying it, made it seem like, hey, if you hire me, you're going to get some.
Yeah. No, it's like that all the time, man. I can't tell you how many times I run into that, and it's all an act. Sometimes they don't even know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's true, man. We were going to do a Fox show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad we did now.
Yeah, because I could. That was one where I could see it was a ripoff early on. You guys are excited. I'm like, y'all don't see that. This is not going to work out.
No. I knew it was a ripoff because we're not gonna mention the guy's name, but I think you and I even talked about it. Like, there's nothing in this that we can do.
Yeah,
and I remember because I wrote that letter.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
I wrote that email to the head of Fox at the time.
Yeah,
because I was pissed off, and I was just telling him I don't see how this is going to work, and he was pissed about it. Remember, he took that email and he's like, I'm a fair man, and I don't even know why it would call for this. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I'm like, because this is stupid, man. Because you're trying to fucking rip us off. This makes no sense.
Yeah, and then to find out after the fact that like he really did plan to rip us off. Like it wasn't even like put us in a deal that wasn't going to work in our favor. He was actually running a true scam on us.
Well, no,
trying to put us on a station that they were about to cancel.
That station stayed around for a little bit, did it?
And not for too much long, not for maybe 6 months longer. I mean, like if we had actually sold some ads for some time, we'd have been on the hook to those people to like, hey, I paid you for these ads on this show that's not on anymore. Where's my money back?
Yeah, people. Here's the deal with this show. We were going to do this Fox show, and now here's how I knew that this show wouldn't work, because we just couldn't make it work. I mean, we did a pilot, and even when we were doing the pilot, I was like, well, I don't know what we're going to do after this, because to do the show, it cost us like about $1,500 per episode, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck we going to get $1,500 for every episode?
Right. It was either, hey, you could pay us $1,500, but then you sell and keep all the money from the ads you sell, or we could pay for it, but you won't get any money.
I was just like, okay, how about we just don't do shit at all?
Right.
I'll go about my way and you go yours.
But yeah, when we came down to the finalists for the actresses, I couldn't believe how flirty all of them were.
Yeah, we needed girls for the show because it was me and Leon, and then we needed
Cyrus also.
That's right. Yeah, we were gonna. He started out kind of small. We were gonna bring him in on a bigger role.
Yeah.
But we felt like, okay, it's a bunch of guys. We need a female to actually, I don't know, win a female audience, to have broad appeal. I can't remember, but it was. We had all these girls come in, and they were just. I don't know. That's what they do, man. I guess they think like they bat their eyes at the person that's gonna get the role.
Yeah, it was one of the girls I took with me to one of the movies just so she could watch and come and do a review, and she spent the whole time batting her eyes, doing the wiggle, putting her hand on my thigh, and at one point, I'm like, all right, this is beyond sending me signals. But I had to like stop her and go like, wait, aren't you married? Oh,
was it the chick from Star Search?
No, it wasn't her. It was the black girl.
I don't even remember that chick, man. Here come the jokes. Of course, you wouldn't remember the black girl. No,
the chick from Star Search was the one who kept flirting with Cyrus and sitting in his lap and all kinds of shit.
And she was married.
Was she married too?
Yeah, she was married because she came in with her husband one day.
Oh, Jesus.
She came in. I forgot what we were doing. I think she came to give me her Star Search tape, which I still have. I feel bad
That's right, I remember,
her.
because I remember she asked for it back.
She made a big deal about that, and I was like, I'll take care of it. And I moved, and I couldn't find it. And I said, I know I have it. Damn. And I feel terrible about it. I really do. But I looked the other day. It's right up there in the closet. Yeah, we had this girl who was on Star Search, and we were like, hey, that'd be great to put into our pilot episode. Yeah. She's like, but I need this back. It's my only copy. I really need it back. My mom had to mail it from Dallas, and I was like, oh, shit. And when I found it, I wanted to find her number, but I was too embarrassed to give it back at that point. I
can't remember her name anymore. No.
Her name's on the tape. I would love to send it back to her, but I'm afraid of the answer that's going to come back. You motherfucker, a lot of good that's going to do me now. You know how many jobs I could have had if I had that tape?
Man, really, you should track her down and send that back to her. You don't have to put your return address on it. Just send it
She
back.
knows where I live.
She know. Oh, that's right. Never mind.
And her husband looks like a giant Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, motherfucker came in because he came in the house, and I was like, he just wasn't having it. I mean, and I don't blame him. It's like, who are these fuckers trying to scam my wife? And not that he knew about the station or anything. It's just kind of like, I better check this out. These are guys trying to bring my wife in, and she fucked up before. He's like, he's probably talking to her like, hey, honey, you remember that time I had to pick you up from that porn set because you thought it was an acting gig? Yeah, I'm coming on this one. No pun intended. So they when they came to the house, I opened the door and she came in, and I saw this big shadow behind her. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And this dude came in, and the only thing that kept him from just like being truly intimidating is that he looked like Jake Gyllenhaal in the face from Donnie Darko. Yeah, shaggy hair and everything. I was like, it was like I could at least probably kick this guy in the nuts and run.
It's like I ain't getting my ass kicked by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'd rather get my ass kicked by Frank the Rabbit than your ass right now. From Donnie Darko, I was like, fuck you, man. But yeah, so she came in and she gave me that tape, and maybe that's why I was scared to get it back, because I could see him looking at me like, yeah, get that tape back, motherfucker, but I got one that badass. But I was just amazed that she was married, because she came in. She's like,
I didn't.
Like, this is my husband.
Her.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's just weird how they are that way. Like, if anybody's ever met an actress and thought like, man, I think she liked me. Like, no. She liked you about as much as the waitress or the girl at the cashier at the grocery store.
Or the stripper at the strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're acting. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's why they call actresses. They're fucking with you. But, hey, you know what? Still made for some pretty cool interviews, because I remember interview that I did with, who's that chick? Long Live Rock and Roll.
Yeah, Gina Gershon.
Gina Gershon.
Yeah, man, that was another one of those kind of interviews where it's like, oh my God, you guys have chemistry.
And it was fun. I mean, but you know something? That's the thing, because Porno Chris at the time, he was like, dude, she was waiting. She wanted to fuck you, man. She wanted to fuck you. And I was like, she's an actress, man. We were acting together. You know, because she said, because here's how the
funny thing about that was like,
and she put the interview on the
that's right,
on the DVD.
Yeah, but hers wasn't like a direct flirting. That's why it seemed so much more genuine than those others, because usually the other time it's like it's so exaggerated in your face you can't help but avoid it.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with that. She said, and I think this is what happened, that she opened up and we just had a good time, because I think she tried to catch me off guard with a question, because she's like, hey, show me your dick.
Right, because you were like asking about how old she was, like giving her a compliment, like, man, to be your age, you look fantastic. He's like, you don't ask a woman how old she is. What if I ask you how big your dick is?
And I was like, I'll show it to you.
Right.
Shit. And the thing is, that's the truth too. I might not do it on camera, but I was like, come on back here, shit. I'd be like that dude in Full Metal Jacket. I got 8 inches of Colorado black snake right here for you.
And that's when he was hauled off to jail.
Hey, wait a minute, what? Tubuku. Yeah, no, it was and she was cool, man. And I remember Carla at the time looking at it like, oh, this is a fucking train wreck. I was like, man, this is a fucking good interview.
Yeah, it was a great interview.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah,
I watched it several times. I thought it was awesome.
I was like really happy that she was being cool, and I had to tell Porno Chris, I was like, man, really? She's an actress. What do you think she's doing? She's playing a role right now. She knows how to improvise in front of a camera. I mean, some actresses don't, but she's good at it.
Yeah.
So get the fuck out. She don't want to fuck anybody. I mean, believe me, as much as I would love to think that and give myself credit for it, none of these.
I see you hanging, because she's like, hey, you got to come to my concert. Put him on the list. I see you hanging out there with a carnation in your lapel.
Looking like that kid that tried to hit a Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Throw that shit on stage. No, she did. She said, hey, you want to come to my show and see my show? I'll put you on the list. And she did. I didn't even go to the show. So, I mean, yeah, I wasn't going to sit up there and be like, oh, boy. I'm walking out with a bow tie on and a little hat, little fedora. Gina Gershon, here I come. Just drowning myself in Axe body spray. Dipping myself in that shit. Yeah, man. No, it was. Yeah, people don't ever think that we are not on to what's happening. I mean, you'll see us do these interviews, and you'll hear us do these interviews, and we don't think anybody's flirting with us or anything like that. It's all a game. That's what actresses do. Fuck with your head. Oh, these goddamn women out here. Oh man, I know we said we'd had one more thing to talk about before we got on with it. Was that it? Was that just
before we get to the email?
Yeah.
Trying to think, we got any more stream of consciousness? I mean,
that's what we do.
We got more stories. We've forgotten more stories than anything.
Yeah,
because I always tell you, it's like, you know what, Corey, I don't always have a good time hanging out with you, but it's never boring. It's always interesting. Half the time it's fucked up. Something fucked up happens, but it's interesting. It's fun the next day thinking back to it.
Well, okay, I probably shouldn't ask this, but when was the last time we hung out that something fucked up happened?
Honestly, I'd rather not even say.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's some stories of stuff with you where I just soon not even bring it up.
Really? That bad, huh?
Yeah.
Was it recent?
No, it was a while ago. I mean, I can't think of the last time something really, really off the wall happened with you. I mean, you know what? Our stories of the past few years have just been us hanging out and some random crazy person comes out of nowhere and starts talking to us. We get in some little adventure that way. It hasn't been anything big.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to know now. I'll cut this off. Just give me a hint. I mean, we don't have to get into it because I'm probably embarrassed by it. But.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's just better left. Not. You know what? I shouldn't even have hinted at it. Never mind.
Hey man, if I did it, I'm not gonna get mad about it. I just want to know. Let me cut this off. Okay. Let me say this. It was really bad, and there's a few times that have gone by where I actually sat down and I said, thank you, Leon, for being there, because that could have ended really bad. Yeah. You said I could have gone to. I could.
Yeah. Just, it's not even worth bringing up.
So you know what? I'll go ahead and say it.
No.
You should, because to me, I'm not that person anymore, man. I'm not. I know I have a temper, but there was there was this was years ago.
Yeah.
There was one night I was drunk. Some guy pushed me, and I was ready to go. I probably would have gone to jail that night for assault and battery because I picked up a bottle and I was ready to head towards that guy. Or else I would have got my ass kicked by several doormen.
Dude, you know what? I can see there's like a lot of details in this story you probably don't even remember. Like that would make it worse. So
really?
Yeah. So let's just move on to something else.
Okay. Yeah. All right. People, that was years ago.
Yeah, that was.
I've kind of mellowed out.
No, you've mellowed out quite a bit.
I tell you, having the responsibility of this fucking website has probably put things in perspective for me. I think okay, maybe not much.
It's funny. I do think about it. I think we still doing the WB show at this time. We might have been, because we kind of famous. But you and I, we were looking on a Friday evening to hang out, and we go to the Apple Bar because we hadn't been there. And I say, let's check this place out. We go in. It's kind of dead downstairs. We go upstairs. There's a party going on. Some kind of mixer.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and we're up there, and I'm looking around, and it's all dudes. I'm like, oh man, this is a gay mixer. You know what? We should probably leave. And it wasn't even like out of homophobia. It's just like, this is a thing for like single guys to meet other single guys. And as we were not there to meet other single guys, we were kind of false advertising. And I'm like, I think we should leave. And you're like, well, hey man, the food is free. Let's get something to eat. And I'm like, dude, okay, listen, now that people kind of know us and we're on TV a lot, you got to imagine there's some people who can't wait to get on the internet, on the phone, and tell everybody they saw us come in together like a couple. Can we please, let's get the hell on out of here.
Yeah, that buffet was blinding me, man. I didn't even think about that part. I was like, hey man, fuck it, shit, I'm gonna eat. I can party with anybody. Don't tell me like sucking a dick. I'm just here to eat.
Yeah, and to me, it's just one of these things where I'm
like, the picture's taken and you and I look straight at the camera, and it'd be one of those moments where I'm like patting you on the shoulder, like, man, I'm glad you hung out tonight. People like looking at you and I arm in arm.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing, like they're gonna be like, you won't believe who just came in here. I told you about those two.
Yeah, especially with that reputation I had at the time. I was like,
yeah, that was before your womanizing reputation had completely kicked in to erase the is he or is he not gay reputation.
Oh yeah, no, that reputation that got around to because there were people hitting on me who thought that shit was true, and we told those stories before,
right? And then they did ask you to host some kind of like gay awards. Yeah,
the Austin Gay Film, some sort of award ceremony,
right?
And it wasn't even because I was gay. They didn't even think that. It was they said, we need a personality to do this. They said, Corey Coleman does his access show. He's comfortable in front of an audience. You should just do it. And it was the woman Christian at the Dobie who knew I wasn't gay.
Yeah.
She just said, would you be willing to do this? I'll pass your name along. I was like, sure, why not? And, and there wasn't a lot of heavy fallout after that. I met an ex-girlfriend of mine at that function too, Erica.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, she came there with a friend of mine, and first thing I told her was, I'm not gay now, right? But they even got in the door. I was just like, I'll be talking to you later tonight. So. Oh man, shit, boy, you brought back some memories, man. I'm glad you sat in, good and bad. Oh man, shit. That music's playing, boy.
What does that mean?
It's email time.
Email time.
I'm not gonna ask you to sing it. I'm just gonna let it play right now because I know you don't know the words to this. But we just let it play on out. Let you get the groove on. Look, Ghost over there doing a little tap dance. What's going on? Usually we sing it out loud, but I'm not gonna do that.
I'm a few bars. Maybe I can pick it up.
Okay, it's over with now.
All right. Yeah.
We got a lot of email here. That's why I was asking if you want to do like an all email show, but I'm glad we didn't though, because I had a good time talking about all this shit tonight. Now let's see. We'll start out with our first email here, which comes from I can't even read this person's name. Let me Beak out Menace. Book Out Menace. Can you see that shit? Look at that. Book Out Menace. Bikout Menace. Book Out.
Is it BIK or BLK? Like blackout?
Right. So anyway, yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I'm screen's kind of far away from me. Yeah, Blackout Menace. All right. I'm not going to even go into what's up, Corin, the king of all robots, because you are obviously not a robot. Or are you? Let's see here. They said the other day I was watching Kevin Smith's movie Chasing Amy, and it reminded me of that homeless chick you had a crush on a while back. After watching it, it reminded me how good that movie was. Why does that remind you of a homeless chick? All right, anyway.
I don't get that.
Yeah, okay, damn, that's a long stretch.
Maybe it was a different Chasing Amy that he saw.
Casing Amy.
Right.
I've almost seen all of Kevin Smith's movies, Clerks 1 and 2, Dogma, blah, blah, blah. And I laugh my ass off each time I see them. My question is, what do you think about Kevin Smith's movies and his writing style? I am not the fanatical Kevin Smith fan that a lot of people are. A lot of people have just accepted that Kevin Smith has his own style, and everybody loves it. I like Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy is very fun, very well done. I think that's his strongest, well-written movie. And I like Clerks, even though I think still Chasing Amy is his best movie. But everything else, man, to me is just weak.
I have to completely agree with you.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
No. I mean, to me, like Clerks was one of those movies, back in the early days of independent films. That was like that movie that you tell people, hey, you got to watch this. And they first start watching, it's black and white, it's real cheap, but then it's written so well. It's funny. It catches you by surprise. Mallrats, real letdown. I was actually shocked by how bad that movie was. And then Chasing Amy, he really made up for it. And the thing is, it's funny. We talked about all the great interviews you've done. The only one I could say that was a clunker was Kevin Smith. Like that, you know what? That was like 10 years ago. I'm still pissed at that fat ass when the way he just gave such a shitty interview to us, and then gave a great interview to the guys who came right after us.
Yeah, he was tired, and I think this is the first time I met the people at Reinhardt Marketing.
Yeah,
who love when we do interviews now. Whenever I come in, they say, "Now this is the guy we wanted you to talk to," but at the time. Greg Reinhardt, his wife, Cindy Reinhardt, they've both been very nice to us over the years. But the first time Greg met me and he heard me talking to Kevin Smith, he didn't know how I was, what kind of questions I asked, or anything.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of influenced that interview that way because he's behind me just kind of pacing and making faces like, what? And I think Kevin Smith kind of saw that. And that combined with being tired, he was just kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? Even when the interview was over, I don't know if you remember, but Greg Reinhardt came up to me and he's like, what the fuck were you doing? I was like, what did I do so bad?
Right.
I didn't do an interview like you used to hearing. I mean, I don't know. And so yeah, but afterwards he gave that real open, great interview to I think it was
a show with no name.
Yeah. I like those guys.
No, I like those guys too. I ain't got nothing against them. It's just I was just mad at him. I'm like, watch him be completely open and joking around with him, but then for you, he just looking all like he was confused and put out. And didn't want to be there. And it's like, yeah, you say he was tired, but it was early. It was his first one. It'd be different if it was like he'd done a bunch of them and we came in later in the day.
Yeah.
It was his first one. It's like, shit, man, wake your ass up.
Yeah. And I'm just
you want to promote this movie or not? And the thing was, it was for Chasing Amy, which I liked a lot. I agree with you. It's my favorite one. And the funny thing to me was when he premiered that movie, he spoke before it. The last thing he said was like, this is my apology for Mallrats.
Yes, he did.
And now he has since gone back and gone like, now he's feeling his oats. He's like, well, actually, Mallrats is my favorite movie. And it's like, that's not what you said.
No, not at the time. In fact, there was an article that said that he was sitting in a room, and this is exaggerated, but he was sitting in a room with a review of Mallrats in one hand and a gun in the other. And I even brought that up in the interview. And I'm just thinking, man, you made fucking Mallrats. How you gonna be offended by anything I ask you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You made a movie where a guy stuck his hand up his ass and fed people chocolates, and people threw up after eating them.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man?
But yeah, everything else he's done. I mean, it's all like, okay, it's gonna all take place in the same part of town. It's the same type of humor, and then it feeds on itself. Like by the time he does Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And it's like, Silent Bob is completely, himself. He's mugging at the camera, which he didn't really do in Clerks. Mm-hmm. And it's just so much of what he does panders to his hardcore fans over and over. There's not a lot of depth to it. It's really like he doesn't really have that much to say.
Well, to me, this is why I'm not crazy about it. I don't have anything against gross or abrasive humor, but it seemed like it's trying too hard, as you say, to appeal to his fans.
Yeah.
Some of the gross out humor maybe that's his humor, but it just seems to me like you're just piling it on because you're trying to get a reaction out of people. When, I mean, just give me a stronger story. I don't really need to, like with Zach and Miri Make a Porno. I mean, there's a big part in the movie where the unclogging scene where some girl's getting, having anal sex and the guy pulls out and shit falls all over the floor. And I'm just like, I'll remember that, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I don't know. And it seems, and then when he's not doing that, it seems like with something like Jersey Girl, there's not much to say at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, for him to have been in the business for so long as a filmmaker, he hasn't really grown any.
No, not at all. But I will say this. I think that in every one of his movies, there's always one thing, at least one thing that's going to make me laugh really hard. And a lot of times it's said by that guy, Jason Mewes.
Uh-huh.
I like that character. I mean, I think that character has become more of an act than it was before, because I kind of took like, even if this guy isn't genuine,
yeah,
I feel like he is.
Yeah.
But the more it came along, it kind of seemed like he was doing an act.
Sure.
But
shtick.
A shtick. Yeah. Like in Jersey Girl, I really don't like that movie at all. I think that movie is well, I don't want to go too harsh on it because I didn't hate the film. I was just like, wow, this movie is bland. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Yeah, it's so bland. But there was that one scene in there with Will Smith where he was having a speech with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, well, this is something.
Well, he's got something. I mean, much as I don't like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, that one small scene where they run into Scooby-Doo and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was better than all those Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. And I like the end of it, too, where they go around like punching people out that they found on the internet who were talking about them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was kind of funny to me, too. But in every movie, and here's the other thing, Star Wars references.
Enough already.
They've been done over and over and over again. We know you're a Star Wars fan now, man. Okay, we got it. You don't have to make a Star Wars joke in every movie. And I don't like the fans of Kevin Smith movies because they'll just flat out tell you, like, yeah, I don't care if it's good or not. I like Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me even angry is that a lot of critics, if it wasn't Kevin Smith, a lot of critics would just be like, oh, this over raunchy comedy that this guy's doing is so grotesque and has nothing to say. But because it's Kevin Smith and he became an indie darling with Clerks,
yeah,
critics love him too. Somehow, I don't know what it is. He became like this cool filmmaker because he busted out with his own feature film that he did on his own, which I give him a lot of credit for.
No, you got to give him credit for that.
But the thing that let me know that critics were just feeding off each other, loving this guy, is when Clerks 2 came out, which, if you ask me, is a terrible movie.
Yeah, I started watching on HBO and I couldn't get past 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, now that's just me. Maybe the fans see something I don't see, but I started reading reviews about it on Rotten Tomatoes, and every other review was using this word, scabrous. This is a scabrous comedy, and you saw it in every other review, and I'm like, okay, this is something that was either in the press notes, they heard Kevin Smith say, because it's a coincidence when two people use it. I mean, it's a stretch of a coincidence when two people use that word.
Yeah.
To have 5 or 6 people use it, it's like, okay, there's some shenanigans going on with this shit. But hey, look, Kevin Smith fans, what am I going to say? If you enjoy his movies,
you already,
I'm just not one.
All we can do is piss you off at this point.
Yeah, I'm just not one of them. Let's see. We'll try to pass through 2 or 3 more, and then we'll be done. We'll try to get through them fast. All right.
Lightning round.
What do you think, in your opinion, is the best actor to play the Riddler in the new Dark Knight movie if they use that villain? They're not using that villain.
Yeah, the Riddler's lame.
This guy picks one. Okay, let's just say they do.
Okay.
He says,
sure.
My pick will be Lost star Michael Emerson. Michael Emerson. Who is it? Which one?
Oh, he's Ben Linus. Are you caught up on Lost?
I have not since the 2nd season.
Oh,
but Ben Linus, he's the short guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't wear any more.
The one over the
others.
The one who
Yeah. I mean, he's diabolical. I mean, that guy, like the Ben Linus he plays on Lost, he has become like almost one of my favorite villain of all time because he's so great in that role. And I guess he could be the Riddler if the Riddler is like Ben Linus, but I don't know.
I don't know what that character's like. I mean, I just don't. I mean, he could. Who knows?
I mean, that's one of those like, sure he could, but who cares?
Now, Hey, you know what? I will answer that question because that's kind of cool. Because I did say if they want to do a Riddler, I'm trying to find a guy who played Doctor Who in the last season. Oh man, David Tennant.
Oh, okay.
David Tennant. I think his name was thrown about as being a Riddler, and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, I can see that. Now you've seen that Doctor Who right there, right?
Yeah. Well, hell, Batman is British, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, shit, half these fucking actors out there are British, man. For some reason, we cannot get that British accent. They can do English accents well, or American accents well.
Yeah.
But we try to do English or British accent, we fuck that up like anything. We cannot do it.
It's like only
best actors.
Yeah, there's only like two people who can really pull it off. Gwyneth Paltrow and Claire Danes, and that's about it.
Yeah, shit. I even saw the other night. I saw Blood Diamond on TV, and they had. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio trying to do a Kiwi.
He was South African.
Yeah, was he South African?
Yeah.
Okay, see, even that was over the top, man. I was like, I can't buy this. And he's a great actor. We even said at the time, was like, hey, the accent is bad, but that character was, he played that character well.
Yeah, he did.
Let's see.
That kid has some chops.
Yeah. All right. That's a wire from my phone. Leon's trying to tell me, man, don't be fucking up. Don't tell me we lost this whole podcast. We got to start over, man. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try and find somebody who we haven't ever answered a question from. Alicia. I don't think we've asked
Mr. Flesh Eater, why do you guys suck so bad?
No offense.
No offense, but why do you suck? Well, let me tell you.
Hey, I want to ask you if you prefer books to be turned into movies or TV shows. If I had to choose between the two, I prefer a TV show because I feel it gives the screenwriters and producers more time to develop the characters in the story. And with the movie, you only have 2 to 3 hours to do so. Okay, so what this person is asking is, do you prefer movies to be? I'm sorry.
I understand what they're asking.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I read it wrong or not.
No. They're saying, do you prefer books to be turned into movies or TV shows to be turned into movies? And while their argument is that it gives them, the opportunity to do more, it's almost never taken.
No, they're saying, do you prefer for books to be turned into 1, TV shows, or 2, movies?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they said here.
I thought they meant, okay.
If you prefer books to be turned into TV, I'm sorry, now I'm fucking up.
All right, one more time.
If you prefer books to be turned into movies or TV shows. So, and I see what they're saying. And,
yes.
And you know something? I totally agree with you on what you're saying there, Alicia, because you said that, and I'm going to read her answer here again. She says, I prefer a TV show. And I agree with that because one of the things that I've been talking about for years that should be turned into a television show, but an episodic television show, was The Walking Dead.
Right.
And which they're going to do now.
Right.
And even then, they're saying they're going to do it as a limited miniseries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, that's the perfect way to do most novels.
Okay. But the thing is, The Walking Dead is continuously going. It's still going right
I mean,
now.
it's not, I guess, it depends on, I guess, your definition of book. Like if it's a novel, a novel as opposed to like a comic book series, it's already a series in itself.
Yeah.
So being, a TV series or miniseries works best.
But see, that's a good answer right there, because it depends on what the book is. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, if you have a book and its story is told and done, and they want to make it into a movie, then maybe it's better off as a movie instead of a TV show.
Sometimes it is. I mean, if they can do it right, they can condense it just right. 2.5 hours is probably like the limit that will have all the best stuff. Perfect example, my favorite movie, Fight Club. Everybody who reads the book says book is good, but the movie's better.
Yeah, exactly. So some stories should it depends on the source material, because I guess, see, this is why when people get mad at me for saying this, you got to refer back to it when I do say this. If you do it right, you can do anything with it, because I could sit up here and say, well, if a story is told in a book and it doesn't go on, then you should stop. But then I look at things like The Dead Zone, Stephen King, which is a successful series.
Right.
But that, it's told one story in a movie, and they told one story in that book, and that was it.
Yeah.
But they turned into a series. So it just depends. I mean, if they can mine some more stories out of that and they want to continue it on, that's fine. But don't force it. Whatever you do, just don't force it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's some things like graphic novels and comic book series and maybe some book series where if the story's still going on there, don't limit it to a TV show or I'm sorry, a movie. Go ahead and make it maybe a series.
But then there are times when it's like, look, this is bad. Like, a series of something might have a lot of fat in it. And maybe it could be condensed down into a 2 to 2.5 hour movie that tells you all the best parts right there. Or maybe it leaves you wanting more to where you can get another good sequel out of it.
Yeah. No, it's so many answers to that. It comes down to that. It really is.
It's a case by case.
Yeah, it really is. It depends on what you're taking that material from, and what the potential that you see for it. God damn, somebody. I'm trying to answer this question from somebody who I don't know if they maybe they've written before anyway. So I'm gonna pick two more here that from people who haven't had their question answered before.
All right.
Scott PJ, I don't think I've seen you before, my man. He says, what are some movies that you have watched where you watched the trailer and it did not lessen or ruin the movie you watched? To me, it feels like it keeps really great movies from being just sublime. Like with the movie Up. It was definitely, well, there you go. That is one where they did not show you everything that was going on before. Right. It was definitely one of the best movies I saw this year, but I didn't think it was perfect because of the trailers and commercials I saw for it revealed too much information. I didn't think so in the beginning. I mean, really, I did not know what that movie was about. I had to put all that stuff together when I saw it.
Really, I do feel like it well, I don't know. No, I take that back. It didn't really tell you that much. If we're gonna go something recent, man, did the trailer for the new Terminator movie fuck the movie. I mean, they totally revealed like the biggest.
Oh shit!
Dropped the biggest spoiler of the whole movie in the trailer.
Yeah, they showed way too much for that shit. Oh man, yeah. These days they are showing a lot, and I'm trying to think of a movie this year where they did not show you a lot. You went to see it, and it was something that you just totally did not expect.
Yeah.
Not to disagree with you on Up, because Up, I really
no. You're right. You're right.
Not talking about this guy. Not you.
Okay. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of trailers. Like people always ask me, like, you know, what trailers have you seen that you're excited about? And I gotta be honest, I don't watch trailers. I try not to watch trailers because, one, either they're going to reveal too much or they might pump me up more than I should be or just give me the wrong idea. Like I always say, trailers lie. You know, most of the time it's somebody making the trailer who didn't direct the movie and they're just like, hey, I'm just trying to make people want to come see this. And they can put things together out of context and give you the complete wrong idea. Now, I gotta say, like the trailer for The Hangover really made me want to see it because it was funny. But at the same time, it does drop, you know, a huge spoiler. You know, it's something a lot of people complained about. One of the best jokes gets revealed before you get there. Now, to me, this movie is so funny even without that. But when people complained about that, I couldn't argue with them.
Okay. All right. I got a perfect trailer for you.
Okay.
District 9.
I don't even remember seeing the trailer for District 9, to be honest.
District 9 didn't show you even half the shit that you saw when you went to see that movie. The trailer for it came out with a teaser at first, and then the trailer actually made it seem like you're going to see a documentary. And they didn't even make it seem like that there was an actual narrative. And the documentary part of the movie is only about 15 minutes. So when you go see the film itself, you're like, I'm surprised at what's happening here because I didn't think this. I thought this was the tone that I was going to have the whole way through. And half this shit that the technology and these villains and what, none of that was in the trailer.
Right.
Yeah, you really didn't know what was happening. They just had a really good hook.
Well, and yeah, I mean, it's got to have a hook, you know, to get butts in the seats to begin with. But,
yeah. Oh, you're right. Somebody says, "Quick, fuck this thought, or we'll explode." Gotta have your thoughts fucked in this section. Fuck your thoughts. And this is from your mom's fridge, bitch. So they say, can you think of the absolute worst times when people sitting next to you in the theater were getting on your nerves and being a distraction, and what you did to deal with them? I can tell you one of the most memorable times that someone was kicked out of a theater, and not by an usher, but by the audience.
Oh, yeah.
You remember Lori yelled at that? No, it was Marge.
Yes.
Marge Bumgarn yelled at that somebody had a baby in there, and that baby was walking in the front of the theater. Fucking people, man. They had their kid, because we don't hate kids, we hate parents. And these people near the front row, and then they had some people behind them in the back too.
Yeah.
And that's what drove Marge crazy. Some people sitting in the front row were just letting their kids just play up there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of asshole parents who do that.
Yeah.
They bring kids to movies they shouldn't. the kids aren't interested, so they just let them play. They're like, well, they ain't hurt nobody. He said, yeah, they kind of are. You're being really inconsiderate, and you're teaching your kids to be inconsiderate.
Yeah, you are. But I'm just thinking, how could you not think that would not get on someone's nerves? Your kid on the floor, right next to the screen, just playing like they're fucking playland at McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
And then there were some people with kids like way close to the back that were also crying. And it just so happens that these people were together. I don't know how that worked out, but so when those kids start going crazy and they finally got the kids to sit down and the kids in the back start going crazy, Marge just said, you know something? If you're in a theater, take the kids out. And the audience just had enough of them. They're like, yeah, you get people like, yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. And then when they saw the people get up, the whole theater started clapping.
I know. I remember the dad was like, come on, these people are assholes. Yeah. It's like, you're the one bringing in the kids being loud, but we're the assholes.
Yeah, asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the whole theater cheered when they were leaving.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, look, even if it's a free movie, I mean, sometimes you got to pass them up. If you have kids, you have a responsibility. That doesn't mean like, hey, come on, it's just a kid. Well, if it's just a kid, then take it out.
Yeah, exactly. God,
nobody
so hard about that.
Nobody owes you this. This is what it is to live in a society and deal with other people and recognize that, like, hey, we're all sharing this. It'd be cheaper for you to stay home and just rent a movie than to come out to a theater, even if it's a free movie. The money you're going to spend on popcorn is going to cost you.
Yeah, I'm hoping these days. See, I don't know. I don't know if it's which way it's working. I don't know if people are watching more movies at home and just acting any which way they want to and just not having that social interaction. I think
that's what. Yeah. When they come to the theater, they used to being at home, talking at the screen at the leisure. Not lowering their voice. I mean, hell, if you feel like you got to talk, you want to say something to your friend. I mean, shit, we sit there. If a movie's bad, we'll make fun of it to each other, all through the movie. But we whisper.
Yeah. No, we do.
Just lower your voice. That's not a lot to ask. Don't answer your phone.
It's a hard. It's an uphill battle now because it seems like more and more people are doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we keep talking about the Alamo Draft House, but we need to bring those days back when somebody came in and told you to shut the fuck up. They meant it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, you left. They got these fucking 16-year-old kids now. They don't. What are they gonna do? They're scared. They're scared to go.
I mean, they literally are that teenager that's on The Simpsons. Sir, could you please lower your voice? But seriously, you know what they need, Corey? They need you, because I love when you're at the theater and people are talking. You would in a minute get that loud, intimidating black man voice and be like, "Hey, you need to shut up. Stop talking."
You know something? Have you noticed? I don't really do it that much anymore.
You haven't done it in a while
because I got my ass beat. No, shit. I kind of gave up now because so many people do it, and so many people are just kind of used to it that I think I'm becoming the disruption now. It's like I'm just.
What? There's times when I've had that inner debate myself. Like, okay, in my telling this person to keep it down, am I going to cause more of a distraction than they already are?
Yeah, and I don't think we've. I don't know, man. I guess I've been in some movies now where like we're going to more midnight movies and everybody talks in that, and it's just like
at that point, I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of give up. We see so many bad movies now where people are talking and we just don't care anymore. It's only when I'm in a good movie.
Yeah.
And usually these days when we go see a good movie, we're kind of mixed in with the critics, and all the critics know. Because these are critic screenings, not public screenings.
Right.
All the critics know, like, okay, none of us are going to talk. We all have respect, and then we know better. We all know better than that. So, I don't know. I just haven't had the urge to do it these days because I'm just tired, man.
I think back to where we saw Jackass, and it was these two middle-aged guys behind me who got into it with each other, like, you need to shut up. Why don't you shut up? No, you shut the fuck up. You shut up. And then, it almost, one of these things where it was going to come to blows, but didn't. And you must have stepped out to go to the bathroom and came back. You're like, what's going on? I'm like, all these two guys back here telling each other, shut up. And you turn around and went, both of y'all shut the fuck up. And I'm like, man, you don't even know what's going on. Just turn around.
I think now that was when I just kind of had it with anything, it was just kind of like, fuck. Cause I remember, you remember that time that person was trying to open up that bag of Doritos. And I kind of felt bad for a minute, but I was like, because that shit went on for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
we watching Lord of the Rings. And I just turned around. We open it already.
Well, see, that was happening the other day when we saw something when somebody was doing that. But I got that like I turned around and gave him a look, and I was like, okay, now they're doing it on purpose just to fuck with me.
Yeah. It's hard to really do anything now. Now these days, there's so many people who are used to people being dicks in movies. I just say, you know what? If I just sit here, it'll pass.
Yeah.
Only in extreme situations where somebody is just like, because I remember I yelled at this woman, and I even thought, like, man, I'm kind of being cowardly here, because it was a woman who was at King Kong, and she was sitting in the front, and King Kong, and I mean, this went on through the whole movie. It was near the end, and I just said, fuck it, man. We're about to leave. I'm going to get mine in because she needs to leave. No, King Kong was making this girl just lose her shit, man, this little girl. I mean, she was crying. She was obviously scared.
Yeah.
And that's what made me actually say, and I'm not too much better, because I actually cussed in front of the little girl.
Oh, jeez.
Because I said, we sat here through the whole movie and heard this girl. Why don't you finally take her out? And she's like, she's only 2 years old. That's why the fuck she shouldn't be in here. I mean, it was King Kong. You hear that? She's only 2 years old.
Right.
Watching King Kong go crazy.
That is not an excuse. Like, oh, well, she's only 2 years old. It's like, yeah, but you were absolutely right. Like, why would you sit here and traumatize your daughter?
Like, I can't believe this.
What kind of parent are you? What's the matter with you?
Almost like,
is King Kong more important than this life that you're in charge of?
Apparently so. I said, fuck this girl. I'm gonna watch King Kong, bitch. King Kong, King Kong. Oh, let's see. We got one more question here from Jason D, who urgently says, please fuck this thought. And okay, consider your thought fucked. Then you says, clearly you guys like all the Arnie films. And I just rewatched Commando.
Corey, I cannot believe you still haven't seen that movie.
Finally saw it.
Oh, you did? Okay, because yes. I've almost bought it for you several times. So
man, I finally saw it, and let me read this, because I probably will answer this question from what I'm thinking here. He says, I watched Commando again the other day, and I was wondering, what are your favorite movie puns? Does the setup to them make them that much better? Thanks. If you answer this question, by the way, you guys really are bad. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, man. I guess you're just asking for any kind of movie pun, but I did finally see Commando. And I love that ending where you say, you're like, you're through, you're finished. And Arnold Schwarzenegger just gets that strength. Like, he's about to die. I mean, he's like on the ground. I mean, but all of a sudden he gets this surge of strength. Like, bullshit. I think that's because you built it up so much for me, and it lived up to those expectations. That is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger moment right there.
Yeah, I mean, that guy had him dead to rights, beat down. He's about to die out of nowhere. You admit it, John. You're finished. Bullshit. He comes back with his big
tells him or something.
Yeah, let off some steam, Bennett. I'm like, wow, that was lame. Yeah. I mean, his catchphrases go, and I think Cyrus was telling me, like, they filmed it several times, him trying out several catchphrases, and that's the one they just decided to go with.
You're tired at that point. Fucking man, I'll take the first one. Shit, they're getting worse.
Although I gotta say, like, one that was in there that I actually genuinely thought was funny was when he dropped that guy off the cliff.
Oh, I had to let him go.
Yeah. What'd you do with that guy? I let him go.
Did he say something to the guy when he did let him go, though, at the time?
Yeah, he did.
You don't let me go.
I lied.
Now, Schwarzenegger's cool with me, man. He might be like a suck ass governor, but
yeah, and when you watch that scene right before he lets the guy go, and he's driving that yellow sports car, they keep banging it, you know, and then like right before they drive off, they flip it down. It's a brand new car they drive off in, with no dents whatsoever.
I gotta watch that movie again for like continuity errors, because I hear that there's a lot of them in there.
Oh yeah, but just I remember laughing, just like, wait a minute, okay. It's one thing, like, okay, there's an army of mercenaries, and okay, you can say, like, okay, he's taking them out one by one, but there's a point when he's running with his back to them, and they're all chasing him, firing at him, and he doesn't get hit by one bullet. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, wow, what was this army gonna do?
Yeah, that's going through G.I. Joe syndrome and shit. You hear about that shit? Carl and I were talking about it. They want to make another Stallone movie.
Yeah, another Rambo, right?
Another Rambo movie, but they want to have him fighting like some science fiction type creature.
Like a Predator?
like some guy who has like some serum in him that turns him into like a super monster or something.
Oh, like Bane from Batman.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, shit, man. I mean, look at John Rambo. You saw how unbelievable that got at one point. Just like cartoonish with that body count. Especially when he gets that rail gun. Just the way he's blowing people up. It's like what's left for John Rambo to do really at this point?
I said fight Jason Voorhees in the last one. Might as well. I'm gonna let us go because that was gonna be the last question. There are two. Whoever sent me this question, I'll mention your name next week. But they said, "What are your favorite fart scenes in a movie? Do you have one?" And
really.
You do.
I do.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
I wish I could find the person that asked that, but you do have one, and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Is it a Terrence and Phillip scene?
No. Actually, that is funny. Okay, that's another one. Terrence and Phillip in
South Park,
the movie.
Yeah.
But fuck, I wish I could find this question from this guy. But anyway, they say that they were watching G-Force and they didn't mind the fart joke in that movie. Or maybe they disliked it, but they said, "Is there any fart joke in a movie that you do like?" Do you remember Bring It On?
Barely.
Okay.
Oh, with that kid. Yes. Okay. You're right. That was one that I liked.
There's a scene in Bring It On where Kirsten Dunst, she's walking and her little brother's just fucking with it. Like, the scene opens with him. She's on the phone and he's behind her. "I have something to tell you." Really. Listen to me. "I have something to tell you." And finally she gets off the phone. She's like, "Okay, what is it? What?" And he grabs that counter and throws his legs up in the air and he's like, and she's like, "You're disgusting. Go get out of here." And the kid just laughing as he runs off.
All right, man, you got me. You found the one fart scene that I like.
Because I saw that and I lost my mind, man. I was like, okay, I can't.
Because that's a weird ass little kid. I mean, I guess he's probably not a little kid no more.
Yeah, he was in that Thomas the Train movie.
Yeah.
What? Let me see here. Don't give up on me yet. Don't give up on me yet. This is a good question, right?
Giving up.
We're going to answer this real quick. And
roads dry. Batteries.
Oh, here it is.
All right.
Real quick. This comes from Justin Peacemaker. And he says, "If the spill parties become bigger and bigger each year, do you think that you guys will lose personal ties with your fans as your audience grows in number? For example, will the party become too big for you guys to talk to everyone like you did at this year's spill party?" And he says,
did we talk to everyone? I mean, I tried.
And he says, look, "I hear you, Corey, talk about the next spill party being bigger than this year's party," which was amazing, by the way. And I can't help but ask if the spill parties become bigger. Well, of course, if there's a room with 300 people, it's going to be really hard to try and talk to everybody. Yeah, but hey, look, all we can say is we're going to do our best until we absolutely, positively cannot do it anymore.
Right. And like, okay, say there's 300 people. We're going to talk to at least 100. I mean, the other people who we don't get to talk to, at least they'll see us trying.
Yeah. And
there's 5 of us.
Yeah, we'll get around one way or another.
Yeah.
And I let me just say this. Jamie had me laughing. He said, "I guess I should mention some of these parties going on. There's going to be a spill party going on in Georgia.
Is there?
In November.
Really?
It's going to be one going on in Amsterdam. I guess I should start mentioning that right now. Amsterdam party, October 17th. And I'm going to go to that one. So that's Pod Bay Door doing that one.
Right.
And then people are starting to have get-togethers in New York. Jamie said, "Man, this is like Fight Club."
I guess it is.
People like starting to have their own parties under the name of Spill. I'm like, hey, it's kind of cool though to think that. I said, I really do. I think because that's what's going to happen. People, let me put it this way. Don't wait for us to show up at a party. If you want to throw a party and we can make it, we'll go. But chances are we can't be everywhere all year long. It's too expensive, and sometimes these things happen at the same time. Because I know that there's a get together going on in New York where I go all the time. But that one time, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in Amsterdam because it's also on October 17th.
Oh, okay.
G-Man is trying to get one together for the end of September. If I can go to New York by that time, I might actually go.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, you know what? You should take this opportunity to throw parties to meet other
just meet other Spill members.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, we don't have to be there. We're kind of boring. And you know what? How many times you want to listen to the story of how we all got together?
Exactly.
I mean, that's something I was thinking about today. I'm like, okay, like when we do this next year and we have, our live Let's Do This or Leog, especially with the live Let's Do This, we have to rehash the origin. But there's going to be plenty of people there that's like, yeah, I've heard this.
No, we're not going to do the origin again.
We're not going to do that again?
No, because I told you, next year it's not going to even be all of us in one room. I'm splitting them up to where you and Cyrus do your thing, me and co-host do our thing. Because not because I don't want to do it, everybody. I just don't want to have everybody fighting for time or fighting to talk and whatnot. Yeah.
Sure. But there might be people who want to see us all together. I mean, maybe we don't all have to like have mics and do a whole long thing, but just
maybe we'll do one where we're all together. But like for the podcast, like we have,
it's
not like for you guys to have an artist come in or a comic person or a comic guest come in and you interview that person. Maybe me and co-host interview an actor that's coming to town.
Sure.
And then we have our big film festival, which will be more for the fans than us.
Right.
And then we have maybe one big podcast with all of us that people can go to because. I don't know. I think next year it'll be bigger. Maybe we'll have a dinner where people will, instead of a barbecue, people are eating dinner.
Yeah.
And while they're eating dinner, we come out and we do our podcast together.
Oh, okay.
All of us.
Okay.
So
that works.
I got plans, man. I tell you,
I know.
And I already pitched it to the guys when I went to Boston. I was talking to the bosses there. And they were like, "You did what?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, don't worry, no money was spent." But they were like, "Wow, tell us about how you did this more." So I think, and they said, "Let's see what we can do getting started now to do this next year." So I think next year we're going to be in good shape. Except I'm aiming for June instead of August because it's too fucking hot in August.
Yeah. I remember when you announced it's going to be in August. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because it's going to be awful hot here.
Yeah, we'll do it in June. We kind of had a mild June this year. Maybe not mild for some people who aren't used to it, but it ain't August.
But August was hell. This is the worst August we had ever.
Yeah. So people get ready for June. Get ready to pull out about $10 or $15 for tickets because there will be charging going on.
Well, I mean, once you play for a flight and a hotel room, $15.
$15 ain't nothing. Shit, man. $15 ain't nothing. I mean, and really the $15, the ticket, not even the $15, but the ticket itself is just to actually know who's coming.
Sure.
I might even start getting tickets in December, and just start announcing events and whatnot and have people come because it'll let me know how many people are going to be here and what we can plan on doing it because we're going to make it bigger. We can't have Flaky Flake, talking about I'll be there and then don't show up at all.
True.
So, but
talking about you, Spider John.
Yeah, boasting and shit. I'll be there. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding.
No, we love you, man.
Yeah, for the next party, we're going to come to your house and kidnap your ass with your money.
I got to say, man, what was that, 3 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. I'm still kind of riding a high from it. I keep thinking back to that whole weekend, especially that whole Saturday from the morning for all the podcasts and the party. That party was amazing.
Man, let me tell you something. I was really nervous. I said that Friday, I was like, this is a disaster in so many ways if it doesn't go well. It's embarrassment. It's people who came here and feel let down, and it's $2,000 out my pocket just for nothing. Let me just say, I've spent $2,000 on embarrassment to pretty much just look stupid. And by that Saturday night, I was like, man, not only am I glad this is money well spent, these people are amazing.
Yeah.
But you're right. I was just like, that's why I guess, because I kept telling people, I was like, I was drinking all night, and by any other means, I should have been throwing up and just drunk to the point where I can hardly move. But I had such an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
From that whole day that I was like, man, I cannot wait for the next one to happen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So people, don't let us down. Recruit your friends to keep the site afloat because we're good. We're good for next year, man.
Hey, man, next year we got to get Come On Ass.
I really do want him to come, man. No, I mean, I don't ask, but I want.
No. But we got to get him there to come on stage and talk shit about us. It'd be like a roast.
I would love it, man. Okay, now you brought up before we go. We got to mention that video. Come on, ask because everybody knows who he is.
Yeah, sure.
That motherfucker. He made another video talking about.
Why is he still talking about? Like I actually had kind of forgot about him.
I like the guy. Please, people, tell him. Don't go on his site and tell him like fuck off or fuck your thoughts or anything like that. Tell him these guys like you, man.
Yeah,
I really do
I
like
think he's
him.
funny. I think he's really entertaining.
And that's not, we're not doing this to like act like the bigger, better man either. No, we genuinely
that's the
think
thing.
he's funny.
Yeah.
I think that guy has what it takes to actually, host his own podcast with another person who could actually kind of give him like better production value and keep him on point. Maybe just let him go. Let him
better
do his
production
thing.
values. Why are you kidding? Those low production values are part of what make that show so entertaining.
I'm talking about more like his movie reviews.
Okay.
Yeah, he just sits there and talks, and those do kind of ramble. I mean, I would love to see like clips or something on there.
Oh yeah. You're right.
But when he's mad, I could watch an hour of that. And I'm not saying this to make fun of you. Come on, ass, watch me preach.
Man, don't get it wrong.
Yeah, I know you're gonna get mad at us, and you're gonna make another video about us or whatever. But really, we like you, man, because that other video he made with us,
where he outs me as George Jefferson.
Man, I got such a kick out of it. I wasn't even mad because when people start posting pictures that they shouldn't, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, but that day I just said, man, fuck it, I'll take care of this later.
I know.
But no, he put up the three worst podcast. He did well. Let me see. It was a video.
Let me guess. A Coco, Let's Do This, and a League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
No, let's see. No, it was the three worst podcasts that he's encountered on the internet.
Okay,
and he named two of them. And when he got to number one, I like what he said. He's like, and finally, the number one worst podcast that I've had the misfortune of listening to, and this should be no surprise to anybody. Spill.com. These sons of bitches, these bastards almost got me kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Not nothing you did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got that much power. Yeah, we talked to the president of YouTube.
President of show business. Okay.
Show business. We talked to the king of the internet. And we were told, Carlisle was like saying, man, don't mess with this guy. Just let him kind of die down. And I was like, but I really do like the guy. I can't help talking about him. I really don't want to talk about him because I don't want to send traffic to his site and then have him say, every time I mention these guys, I'm going to get more traffic. But fuck it, man. As far as I'm concerned, he's earned it. Let him have it. Shit. He's entertained me. Take it, man. I don't give a fuck. Take it. Get 1 million hits. I don't care.
Man, that would be awesome to have him show up like as the villain. We put on a little show. Have him come out and preach to the audience about
you people, you sheeples out here. How do you let these bastards get away with what they do? I don't know how the fuck they get away with it. You allow them to. That's what he said. He's like, I don't understand how you people are duped by these guys.
They're characters. Don't you understand? That's not really them. Like when you see Huckleberry Hound, that's a real blue dog. But these guys are not the cartoon characters that you see.
He's like, these guys, they fancy themselves critics and they think people listen to them, but yet they want to act like frat boys and they play characters. I really do genuinely like this guy. No anger, no hostility, no rivalry with this at all. No confrontation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little peeved that he got so mad he wanted to look us up and expose us because hey man, you can't see this as friendly for what it is. But at the same time, he is damn entertaining.
Very funny. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, get angry, make more videos, and get more. If you want some traffic from us, fine. Because you know what, you entertain.
It is funny that somebody who tries to entertain people would get mad at the people who are entertained by him.
Yeah, because I love the guy. I really do. I mean, he went on this rant about the actress in Iron Man,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Everybody wants to attack her. She ain't done nothing to nobody.
Well, come on. Doesn't take anything for come on and to attack anybody.
I guess that's true.
But when he did it, he was funny. He was like, I forgot what he said. You just got to look at it.
Okay.
No one knew who the fuck you were. You and Iron Man got re-recognized or something. Man, I don't remember what he said. I just remember it was funny. I can't even do it because I don't remember word for word what he said. But you go watch it. He's very funny in his rant against her.
Okay.
So anyway, you know what? All right, people. That's it.
We've poked the trolls enough.
Yes, we've gone on and on to the break of dawn here, man. So, maybe we'll hear from co-host later this week because
he's gonna have some great stories. He better have some great stories.
I hope so. I told him he should have invited Raymond.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
That's another story for another time, people. But right now, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!